to prophesy the downfall of the sinful kingdom called America, also known as Babylon in the scriptures. And first and foremost, before we get started, I want to give all praise to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son in the proper true names in the Hebrew tongue. Kal,
Halayim, La,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Also to our elders as well, down here in the Lions Den of Yasharala camp. And salutations to all the Akim folk on the earth, pussy, truth, and sincerity. Got a lesson today, Lord willing, is edifying to the hopefully elect out there, and also the men, women, and children that believe sincerity as well. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it.
Because as you know, the times we're living in, the times that we are in, it's the times of prophecy, it's the times of speaking things before they happen. It's a time of warning our people. But you know, you have some of these camps, you know, that call themselves of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. They're not warning the people. They're not giving off the sound that they need to give off. They're giving off the sound of, we'll say, mirth. They playing music that's causing people to dance rather than blowing the trumpet to warn our people, to let them know that this is a time of war, this is a time of serious things to happen, things to come. Without further ado, could you get that first scripture?
All right, it's the book of 1 Timothy.
No. 2 Peter.
Select it. Book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 20, and it reads, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Okay, so knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. You know, you have some of these camps, these other guys, you know, they have private interpretations of what the scriptures mean. They have private interpretations of what the RFID chip is, or the mark of the beast. They want to say that it's philosophies. They want to say that it's your phone. They want to say that it is your credit card. Well, that's a private interpretation, because according to the scriptures plainly state that the mark of the beast is a physical thing that you must get inserted into your body. You cannot buy or sell with a philosophy. You have to use money to buy and sell. You can't go in a tire shop and or Publix or wherever and be like, oh, well, I believe in this. I'm finna grab this rice off the shelf. They're gonna be like, no, where your money? Another thing, you know, that not wanting to recognize Yahweh Shai. That's a private interpretation. We must recognize the Son and the Father. We must recognize both. Kiss the Son lest he be angry. You can't get to the Father unless you go what? Through the Son.
Right. That's Zakari and Mighty Hebrew. First one you said was ISUBK.
Back at 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
So prophecy did not come in old time by the will of man. The Spirit, the Lord, man didn't move other men to bring forth this word. It was always the Lord speaking to his people, speaking to his prophet. It was always the Spirit put on a man or men of the Lord to bring forth prophecy.
Precept.
Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So just like the brother said, man, hey, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, he the one give the increase and the decrease, man. He the one sets up the true prophets. So therefore, hey, he's gonna give you the words, all right. He's gonna put those words in your mouth that he wants you to get out here and speak, all right. Which is the words that he wants you to speak is the words of prophecy, man.
I got it, please, sir. This is Psalms chapter 68, verse 10. It says, thy congregation has dwelt therein. Thou, O Yahweh, hast prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. So basically, it's not of any private interpretations. It's inspired by the Spirit of the Holy Spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And great were the ones that published it, that come down here on the highways and byways and give the testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy.
And if I may add on, testimony, you know, our elder as well, he told us before, hey, a true prophet is not going to sit here and say, I feel like, or I think, or this may come to pass. Hey, you're going to tell you what it is, man. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, he revealeth his secrets to the prophets, man. Right. So therefore, freely receive, freely give. Get out here and speak your mind, man, what was given to you.
Because you can't do this. You can't even speak the word. You can't even interpret the scriptures to edify yourself, let alone edify somebody else if the spirit of Yahweh Shai is not dealing with you. Because we don't speak of ourselves. We are moved by Yahweh Shai. The inspiration comes from the Most High. The spirit comes from him to move us to do these things, to speak what is in the scriptures.
Yeah, I preach that for you. Wisdom of Solomon 7:24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no undefiled thing fall into her.
So, Khan, wisdom is moving than any motion. Wisdom is weaved in and throughout everything that the Most High has ever done.
Right.
He established the world itself by wisdom.
Right, and if the men of the Lord become, if wisdom dwells within you, then you begin to move like the Spirit.
Khan.
You see that? That's the ignition that gets you moving. What's on the back of a rocket? The propeller.
Thrusters.
The thrusters. You know, that's the thrust that gets you, moving, man.
Yeah, the fuel.
The fuel.
The fuel that projects you or launches you forward.
That's right.
You know, without that fuel, guess what's gonna happen? You ain't gonna go nowhere.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to like.
That's right. Wisdom is the fuel. Yahweh Shai is the fire.
Khan, which creates combustion and explosion again to prepare you forward, so that you could do the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Because you know, most of what we have been seeing here lately, a lot of these cats been speaking of their own mind and their own hearts. They've been going off on doctrine. They've been going off according to the scriptures, and they wrong for that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is that thing that the Lord hath not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, that thou shalt not be afraid of him.
So, if repeat that presumptuously part again.
All right, it says, I just start from the top. It says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing that the Lord hath not spoken.
So if you have a supposed prophet that speaks something, and they say, "Oh, the Lord said," and it does not come to pass, guess what? That prophet is what we call, what I've heard growing up, a prophet liar rather than a prophesier. And they have spoken presumptuously, meaning they have spoken, according to their own heart, because whatever they say or whatever they have said have not come to pass, or it will not come to pass. Because they prophet liars.
And if I may add on, just like the brother said, man, hey, if it don't come to pass, hey, that's how you know the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai not dealing with them. Why? Because the spirit of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy, all right? So therefore, like the brother was stating earlier, we're going to say these things before they come to pass. That's how you're going to know that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is true, and that's how you're going to know who he's dealing with, man. Because why? You're going to be justified by your sins, man.
That's how you're going to know a prophet was among you, because a prophet going to always say something before it happens. The Lord has always sent his prophets out before a big calamity or a great thing or a great work. He always did that.
Warning before destruction.
Warning before destruction, like the brother said. You get warned. You get a warning of the punch before the punch comes. But a lot of our people, they not paying attention to this. A lot of these false camp leaders, they lie to the people, and the Most High finna get ready to throw a phantom punch, and we tell them, hey, look, this punch coming. You might want to be on the right side of this punch so that you won't get hit. And they don't take the reproof or the rebuke and the correction so that they themselves can be corrected for the Most High, so that they then can correct those who are following them. So the Most High is going to push them off to the side, and they're going to catch that jab. Could you bring out that second Ezra for chapter 15?
All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
So the Lord told Esdras, he told Jeremiah, he told Ezekiel, he told Peter, Paul, he told every man that he used, go and speak his words. Cause them to be written down in paper. written in the scriptures, recorded. Because the Most High is going to give us these words to go speak to who? The word of Yasharallah. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Who are the Israelites? So-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans. Who are the Israelites? We're supposed to speak these words because the Lord put it in us to speak.
And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
So to be caused them to be written down because they are faithful and true. The Lord say he's going to judge something. He's going to deal with something. It's going to happen. He say Yahshua is going to get redeemed. It's going to happen. He said he's going to do away with sinners. It's going to happen. He say Esau finna get whooped up. It's finna happen. The Lord is not a man that he should lie.
Gone. Hey, and on top of that, guess what? He say his word should not return unto him void, man. So everything that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has spoken is going to come to pass. No ifs and buts about it. Like Romans 3:3. What if some did not believe, man? It's going to be of none effect, man. Why? Because hey, the things that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have spoken is going to come to pass, man. No ifs and buts about it.
I have a quick injection. This is Hebrews 13:21. Make you perfect in every good work to do his will, working in you that which is well pleasing in his sight. Through Yahweh Shai, to whom be glory forever and ever. Amen.
Say Hebrews.
And that's basically the point, man.
13:21.
You let the work within you so you can do the good work of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So that spirit has to be in you. What is the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai? Being a prophet. Because the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is the testimony of prophecy, man. And like it said in Deuteronomy 18, it says if the thing come not to pass, the prophet has spoken presumptuously, be not afraid of him. But the Lord said be afraid when the prophets speak. All right, because that fear is going to turn you to righteousness.
This is the book of Revelations. So like it. Chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
And this was John. He fell at the feet to worship the angel that was talking to him, and he said, hey, brother, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Worship the Most High. You know, he said, I'm your fellow servant. You know, I'm your brother. You ain't got to do that for me. But worship, you know what I'm saying, the name and the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you know, for the testimony of a Mashiach is the spirit of prophecy. So we must worship the Son and the Father. We must go through the Son to get to the Father. You can't bypass Yahweh Shai and go to Yahweh. It don't work. And if you teaching that you can bypass Yahweh Shai, well, you a lie. You are not a prophet. You are not son of the Most High. Because why? You telling lies. You coming with your own thing.
All right, this is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 3. It says, if any man teach otherwise and consent not to the wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knoweth nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh evil. It says, whereof cometh even envy, strife, and railings, and evil
So if any man teach otherwise, meaning teaching another gospel or teaching outside of the scriptures, and they don't consent to wholesome words, i.e. the scriptures, you know, the truth, you know, the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, you know, according to doctrine and godliness, this man is proud. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know what he ought to know. He doesn't know the scriptures. He doesn't know that he's supposed to teach according to the scriptures. But they dote about. They go about asking questions, rhetorical questions to be exact. A lot of them they talk in circles. You know, they'll ask you a question when you get ready to answer. Before you can answer, they'll ask you another question. You know, and out of that will come evil surmisings, disputings of the truth. You know, that discrepancies start to happen within the doctrine when you don't teach according to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You know, you end up they like Sadnetta, perverse disputings, blaspheming the scriptures. You know, men of corrupt minds, meaning their consciousness is sealed with a hot iron, meaning they couldn't get the word if it was beat into their brain. Matter of fact, they couldn't get the word if it was put inside of them to speak. They still couldn't get it. You know, they can't say nothing fly if their tongue had wings on it. Nothing deep if their mouth was water. You know, they destitute of the truth. They destitute, meaning the truth they don't tell the truth and shame the devil. They tell a lie and make the devil proud. Come on.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36. I'm going to start at verse 15. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and rise up prophets that have been in thy name. Khan, and I brought that out to back up the brother Nakar, man. Those are the ones that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is dealing with. The ones that he knew from the beginning, man. Since the womb, just like he told Jeremiah, man. And one of the brothers brought that out earlier, man. You know, those are the ones he's dealing with, and he's going to give testimony unto them to go out and warn his people of the upcoming destruction. They're going to have, you know what I'm saying, that certain sign.
This is Isaiah 58:1. It says, cry loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is commanding us to teach the people, to give people warning, you know, or what's to come, because destruction is definitely near, and it's coming, man.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be an evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? Right, because the trumpet is blowing, right? And the people are supposed to fear. Back in the days when the prophet used to come in town, like, are you coming to give good news or bad news? Right now, we're giving both. Bad news for the 2/3 in these other nations, and good news for the first fruit unto our salvation. But we're blowing this trumpet, so people, the true men of the Lord are going to fear. All right? It says, surely the Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto the servants, the prophets.
So the Lord ain't going to do anything but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. He's going to reveal the deep things of the scriptures to the meek.
Yep, follow up with that. This is Titus, chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, a servant of Yahweh and an apostle of Yahweh Shai, meaning Paul was sent out, the apostle. It means to be what? Sent away. All right. According to the faith of Yahweh's elect. So what's the faith of Yahweh's elect? All right. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It says, and the acknowledging of the truth. So they got to acknowledge the truth. And these camps that he's talking about, they're not acknowledging the truth. He says, and the acknowledging of the truth, which is after godliness, in hope of eternal life, which Yahweh have, that cannot lie, promised before the world began, but have in due times manifested his word through preaching, which is committed unto me according to the commandment of Yahweh our Savior.
So you could take that. The Lord chose the foolish through the foolishness of preaching to save those that believe. Right. So we commanded by Yahweh, why Yahweh shall even get out here.
Right, to come out here and speak the truth, so the ones that have ears to hear can believe and hear the truth.
I got a precept behind that. Yep. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he shall say unto me, and I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
So it says, I'm going to stand upon my watch, meaning we got to wait on the Most High to see what's going on in order to tell the people.
Right.
We can't jump the gun. You know, we can't use our own mind, our own heart, because why? Because that don't cut the mustard. You know, old school saying, mean you can't cut mustard with nothing, no matter how you do it. You can't cut it. But we got to wait on Yahweh Yahweh Shai. We must wait for instruction in order to go and teach and to preach what we are supposed to teach and preach, which is the truth according to the doctrine.
Precept.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 12 and 19. And say unto the people of the land, thus saith the Lord Jehovah, of the inhabitant of Jerusalem and of the land of Israel, they should eat their bread with carefulness and drink their water with astonishment, that her land may be desolate from all that is therein, because of the violence of all them that dwell therein.
So we got to be careful. We must tell our people, we got to go to the house of Israel to tell them according to thus saith the Lord. We got to tell them how the Lord say walk, how the Lord say talk, how the Lord say move. We got to tell them these things. And we got to tell them, in doing this, you got to be careful. You can't do this all willy-nilly. You can't do this how you want to do this. Because when you start trying to do this the way you want, the Most High say, okay, now you finna get up out of here. You have cats start getting exposed for not teaching the doctrine right, for dogging out brothers, for going off, for doing all kind of manner of different things. You start to hit things. The Most High raise you up in front of the congregation and bust you out because you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing according to him. Our people think that they can talk to the Lord or handle the Lord any kind of way. It don't fly like that. It don't go like that. It ain't never went like that. But our people still seem to think that they could do that. You got a precept?
No.
Okay.
But in addition to that, we shall eat our bread defiled, man. So that's the reason why we have to come out here and teach the truth, because the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding was taken away from us, man. And the land was laid desolate. We are taken out of our land, and you got a bastard that's dwelling in Ashdod right now, which is Esau, Amalek. All right. So now that's why you have to have the prophets out here to give a clear message to the people, to the ones that are truly seeking Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai.
God. So point blank period, we got to be obedient to the Most High. Brother, I was trying to get that out there.
This is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. It says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
God, so to the law, to the testimony, if they don't speak according to the doctrine, according to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, it is because there is no light in them. There is nothing righteous or nothing of Yahweh Yahweh Shai within them. Because if you are right in right standings, or the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with you, you're going to go according to the scriptures. You're going to bring out the scriptures as they're supposed to be brought out.
Double for you. This should be pretty easy for you too. 1 John chapter 2, verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they are not all of us.
God, so they were not with us. You had a lot of people that started out, oh yeah, Yasharala, we Israel this, but they didn't continue. They didn't continue in the doctrine. They didn't continue in the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
2 Ezra 8 and 2 and 1. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many. So many people, right?
God.
But the world to come for few. I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold, whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this world. There be many created, but few shall be saved.
So again, the ways of old were wide once upon a time, but now they've become narrow. You know, you have vessels for honor and vessels for dishonor.
And also, just like how when you search for gold, right, you go by the water and you have that little sifting thing, and there's a bunch of dust around the gold. So you got to sift it, shake the dust off, and the water represents the word, sifting the dust and bringing out the little bit of gold, tricklets of gold, which be in the elect that are in there.
Precept. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 9. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations.
And how is he sifting? He's sifting through the word. So the true men of the Lord, all right, we're supposed to fear at these times. But where do we run to? We run into the name of the Lord, which is a strong tower.
And that, if you look at it in reverse, the scripture I read earlier, they went out from us, there could be manifest that they were not of us. But there were many. You see that? There were many created, but only few shall be saved. Right? But how is that going to happen? Through the sift. Through the sifting. That's right, brother. Go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye, when the Lord shall bring again Zion.
Oh.
So thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. I.e. meaning we're going to come out here and we're going to do the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Right.
And we're and we all are going to speak the same thing. We're going to speak the same doctrine. We're all going to speak the truth. We ain't going to add our 400, 500, 600 cent in, you know, to try to make ourselves sound deep when we're just men. And it says, what it says? Continue.
For they shall see eye to eye, when the Lord shall bring again Zion.
So we're going to see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion. When we're going to see the Lord when he come back.
And then we see it eye to eye now through the Spirit, man. He said he shall draw them out through the Spirit. He will draw them together. So how is it that you have men that never met each other that are on its opposite sides of the earth speaking the same words? Why? Because they have that same Spirit within them.
This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 62. I'm going to start at verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent, and give him no rest until he establish, and until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
So the Lord has set watchmen up. Who are his watchmen? His watchmen are the prophets. His watchmen are the men that you see week in, week out, doing videos day in and day out. It says those who make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. Meaning we're not going to be quiet because you don't want to hear it. We're not going to be quiet because we are required to speak. We are required to say something. We are required to make judgments according to the scriptures. And if you don't like it, well,
in the Matrix.
We don't give a flying flip phone because you don't like it, because we fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, so we're going to say what the Lord says to say. What was the rest of that on that up?
It says, verse 7, give him no rest until he establish, until he make Jerusalem praise in the earth.
So give him no rest, meaning we supposed to constantly speak this truth. Don't give Esau no rest. Don't give 2/3 of our people no rest. Constantly speak the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua until what? Until the Lord make Zion a praise in the earth. Till he raise us up and put us back in our rightful place. Until then, ain't no being quiet, ain't no keeping silent. We're going to say this, we're going to speak the truth until the cows come home and leave again. Prophesied, could you get that Jude chapter 1, verse 11?
Precept.
Bring your precept out. Go ahead.
Revelation 17:17. For Yahweh hath put in their heart to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the word of Yahweh should be fulfilled.
And that's what's going to bring about World War III, or World War Yahweh Shaphat, all right, a battle in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. That's what's going to bring those together, and ultimately, that's what's going to bring the destruction with those missiles. And that's what's going to bring forth the mark of the beast. All that in one, because they gave power to, you had the European Union gave power to the beast, which is NATO, which gave power to America to be a hammer of the earth. All right, and for all these things to happen, to push the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, all right, and for the beast to be created itself. All right, so all these things have to plot. And what is that? That's prophecy. That was spoken by John the Revelator. The angel spoke that to John the Revelator on the Isle of Patmos.
God. So again, we must speak the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And for those who are not doing it, you're going to get greased up. Go ahead,
All right, this is the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 11. Woe unto them, for they have gone in a way of Cain, and ran greedily after the error of Baal, for reward
and perish.
It perished in the gainsaying of Kor.
So it says, woe to them who have gone in the way of Cain. We all know Cain was a murderer. Cain he thought he could come to the Lord all willy-nilly. He didn't obey. You know, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. That's why he was jealous of Abel when it came down to the offers being given. It says, woe means destruction. 2/3 of our people have went in the way of Cain. You know, these false prophets have gone in the way of Cain. They have ran greedily after the error of the way of Balaam. I mean, they will rather serve the devil or serve what's not right according to the scriptures, and they have perished in the gainsaying.
This is just to back you up. This is St. John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and bold not in the truth.
So, there you go. 2/3 of our people, ye are of your father the devil. That includes you false camp leaders as well. Because a little bit more.
Because there is no truth in him. When he speak a lie, he speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
And that's the same thing with these false camp leaders. They're of their father the devil. Their father was a liar from the beginning, a murderer from the beginning. And they speak, and this lie they speak out of their heart, and guess what? They do the same exact thing that their father do. Anything that they speak it from themselves. They don't speak it from the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. So guess what? When they put it out there on the unicorn and the true men of the Lord hear it, it get cut down, it get corrected.
This is Matthew 23:29. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Woe unto you, false prophets. IUIC. It's so many of them, I don't even know their names.
It says GOCC, ISUPK, Salaki.
No, you good. Hypocrites. You know, a hypocrite is somebody that claims to be something that they're not.
It's called to say one thing and do another.
Right? Claim to be a prophet when they're not. Because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, look at the point, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. That's what IUIC and them say. He said, no, that wouldn't have been us. Wherefore, ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
They're witnesses of themselves. They're the same ones who killed the prophets in the days of old. The same ones who had Yahushua crucified.
That's right. And if Esau allowed murder today, they would damn sure try to murder us.
Exactly.
And if I may add on, that's the snake BBHI, bomb black Hebrew Israelites doing the same thing, man. Yep. Constantly crucifying the prophets afresh, man. That whole Matthew 23 is about them, man. The prophecies, the Pharisees, like
come, brother.
Straight hypocrites. They say one thing and do another.
You the children of those that murdered the prophets.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 29. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest.
Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what you speak. You're supposed to be paying attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth. You know, you're supposed to know what you're talking about. You ain't supposed to be saying one thing and doing another.
Yeah.
You know, and then getting mad when somebody corrects you. Just imagine if this was if the Most High had a hold of the ball game going, and we were supposed to put y'all to death that lie according to the truth. There'd be a lot of death in Israel.
Like they say, like with whole Nate saying that the mark of the beast is philosophy.
Exactly. You cannot buy nothing with a philosophy, like the brother Canuck in his lesson. How you gonna buy something with a philosophy?
I got a new one. They saying that Nate from IUIC is John the Baptist.
God.
No. Really, spiritually, they're being revealed who the hell they are with the verse that you just brought out in Matthews, man. Because they said it was prophesied. Because Luke said the same thing. But when Luke went into death, meaning it was going to carry on over with them. All right. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. This Luke chapter 11, verse 47 says, "Woe unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them." So that was them that back in the day that built the sepulchres, and now they're here to kill the prophets today. They're not prophesying, they're coming back in that same spirit that they were in the beginning, claiming that, oh, we wouldn't have been the one doing that, but you're doing that by crucifying the Lord afresh with his name. and saying that we have to get salvation through the law. But Paul came teaching against you same devils, talking that, saying that you're putting a heavy burden that on these people that you won't even bear. Because you're not keeping the law 100%.
And that's why y'all call prophet liars.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9, verse 4. It says, Take ye heed, every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. It says, and they will deceive every one his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. And that's what all these other camps are doing. They are deceiving the people. They are speaking lies. They're not speaking the truth. They're not giving our people the true doctrine, the true knowledge and wisdom and understanding, man. You know.
And it says brothers, but it says brothers there, but the scriptures say prove a brother first, man. You know, and that's why you got to try the spirit brother by the spirit, man, and know who is who.
Back you up. This is Matthew's. Oh, hold on, wait, where is it at? There you go, Mark 3 and 35. It says, for whosoever shall do the will of Yahweh, the same is my brother and my sister and my brother. All right.
For whosoever do the will of Yahweh is the same as my mother, my brother, and my sister.
Right, not just because they say they're Israelites. Not just because they come out of the seed of Abraham are they your brother. And that's what the Lord was saying. Don't trust them damn Pharisees and scribes. All right.
Also, you'll know a man by their fruits. You know what I'm saying? It says try the spirit by the spirit. You know.
Right.
You will know them by their fruits. If a ruler, the scripture that Amawan brought out said you were taught to speak lies. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his followers are wicked. That's according to thus saith the Lord.
That's Proverbs.
Proverbs.
Yep. This Hebrews 3 and 8. Harden not your hearts as in the provocation in the day of temptation in the wilderness. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my works 40 years. Right, because in the wilderness you had those Israelites that was like faking the funk, going back into their tents, worshiping idols still.
And what we in the wilderness now, because Esau has made the whole world a wilderness.
Just as the brothers say, man, things are written aforetime, written for our learning, man. You know, history repeats itself, so to speak. All right. And the Lord proved them after he saw his works after 40 years, man, that march around Jericho, all right, of those Israelites that had to be destroyed, man, for still worshiping idols and loathing the law. Wherefore I was grieved.
In the wilderness. Yep.
Wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest. So just as today, man, they're not going to enter into that rest, man, because they're doing the work deceitfully, all right, for filthy lucre's sake, all right, and it's not for truth, man, which is ultimately what you should be out here standing for, man, the truth.
And you mentioned the walk over. Wasn't it Joshua that took us around Jericho? All right, so now the elder always brings out, we're marching around Jericho right now. But the elect are the only ones that are going to be marching around Jericho, man, to bring down the walls of this system, man.
This is a precept pertaining to those false prophets that are doing the work of the Lord deceitfully. This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will acquire it of him. So you're going to be held accountable. Verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
So speaking in the wrong names.
Right, Caesar Borgia.
Speaking and talking about the Lord said something when he ain't said it, you're going to die. You're going to get judged. Most High going to put you in the dirt. He gonna put your face in the concrete.
Like the nonsense that false count saying, if you don't call on JC, you got the mark of the beast. You got the mark of the beast, man.
Right.
And the mark of the beast, as spoken according to prophecy, is a physical thing. You must accept this and put it. You must accept the mark in order to be judged by the Most High in His anger. You have to. The mark of the beast is something you got to accept. You got to agree to it. You can agree to a philosophy, but a philosophy can be changed. If somebody come with hard, concrete evidence against your philosophy, they can sway you. You can't be swayed out of the mark of the beast. Once you got it, you got it. You ain't finna get it and take it out and be like, oh yeah. No, the Lord said, if you get it, if you take that chip, you're gonna get fire dip. That's a prophecy. Period.
This is Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
So mark them which cause divisions. Mark them which cause stress and striations according to the truth or in the doctrine.
Come on. If I may add on real quick, and that's the problem right there, man. You know, like the brother was just talking on the mark of the beast. They don't go into definitions of that.
Nope.
We can go into that definition of the word mark in Revelation 13. It goes back to the Greek, which means charagma, which means cut or incision, all right? And that one that the brother just brought out in Romans 16 and 17 also goes back to the Greek, which means scopeo, man, which means to basically put in the spotlight to show how they going off, man. All right, and that's what we're doing.
Because it's a law, go back to the Old Testament, that we don't supposed to make any cutting in our flesh. So for you to get that mark of the beast, you have to allow them to cut inside your flesh. All right, go back to the Hebrew word
Quite.
to basically to prick your skin, to go inside your skin, man. I got one more verse. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
So those who lie according to the scriptures, they only in it to win it. They only in it for their own personal gain. They only in it to distort what's right, because that's all they set up to do. They're not there to edify. They're not there to build up and to correct and to put people back on the right track. They are there and set up to get people as far as they can off the right track while lining their pockets at the same time.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 30. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad.
So he that is not with the Lord is against the Lord. He that's not gathering with the Lord, he's scattering abroad, meaning he's unprofitable. He's not meat for Yahweh Shai to use in order to bring forth righteousness on the earth.
This is Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastor, saith the Lord.
Woe be unto the pastors, destruction unto these false prophets, these prophet liars, who scatter his sheep, who cause our people to err.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, it says, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evils of your doing, saith the Lord. Because like the previous scripture that the brother Gabar brung out, you know, they scattering the Lord's flock. They not gathering it into the sheepfold. They scattered them by smooth words, you know, and fair speeches, by deceiving them from the truth, man. So the Lord said he's going to deal with those pastors that scatter his sheep from the truth. So he's going to deal with these IUICs, these GOCs, Yohana, and all these many other false prophets that's going off on doctrine and saying that they are John the Baptist and second in command and all this other nonsense, man.
I want to go back to this Luke real quick. Talking about these false prophets. It says, this is Luke 11 and 47. Woe unto you, for ye build the sepulchres of the prophets, and your fathers killed them. Truly ye bear witness that ye allow the deeds of your father, for they indeed killed them, and ye build their sepulchres. Therefore also said the wisdom of Yahweh, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which had shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation. So they gonna get it. So the same, that's why the Lord left them in that spirit of persecuting the prophets, so he can punish them. He said their blood is going to be required. That's why they're in that state of mind right now. The Lord would not reveal the truth to them. the Lord will not allow them to speak the truth, because the Lord has a punishment for them. He got to require the blood from the prophets in back in the day on them today, in this generation.
Come on. So there you go. Prophet liars gonna get thrown in the prophet fire.
Precept.
All right, this is back at the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 12. These are spots in your feast. Shalaki, yeah. These are spots in your feast of charity when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, they are without water, carried about of wind, trees whose fruit, what that is, withereth, without fruit, twist dead, plucked up, twice dead, Shalaki, plucked up by the roots.
So these false prophets, they're spots in your feast. They're meaning they're blemishes among the base of Yasharallah. You know, in your feast of charity. When they feast with you, they want to try to sit down. Hey, let's build together. We can do this. No, it don't work like that. They feed themselves without fear. Meaning they touch this, they touch the books, the scriptures of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and they're not afraid to handle this book without care. Handle these scriptures without care. They're with
for instance, ISUPK saying John the Baptist is whatever the hell he say he is, or he'll play the catfish, go get the hot sauce. He's on video saying that.
God,
you know.
God,
that's without fear.
God, and they're clouds without water. Meaning you don't get no edification from them. You know, nothing grows wherever they go over. Nothing grows. It's only death. Broken cisterns, spiritual death. You know what I'm saying? They are trees whose fruit withereth, so they're unprofitable. They don't, you can't get anything from them and grow from them. Because they fruit withereth, meaning the truth, the words that they speak, their mind it withereth. They're liars, so they can't grasp and stay holding on to the scriptures.
Just like the fig tree that Yahweh Shai cursed.
God, they're without fruit. They're without benefit. They're twice dead, spiritually and eventually physically. Plucked up by the roots, meaning they plucked up, meaning they useless.
No foundation.
No foundation, ain't nothing good. Ain't nothing, you can't lean on them. You lean on them, you gonna hit the floor.
Cause like if you cut down a tree, right, and that root is still in the ground, even though that tree is cut down, that tree is still alive.
God.
Because of the root is still established in the ground, it's still able to get nourishment.
God.
You know?
Look at Israel.
Come on.
This 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This note also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy.
Disobedient to the elders?
Yeah, to parents, those who taught them this truth. Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, you know, black bum people, Israelites, making acronyms, scoffing and mocking.
Yeah, calling apostles
rapists.
Yeah, man.
Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. They despise those who are good, meaning the true prophets, man. You know, hey, just like the brother Kanak mentioned earlier, they're in that same spirit of those who crucified the Lord afresh, man. You know, who persecuted, help persecute Yahweh Shai, man.
And what did they say? They asked for it. They said, crucify him, let his blood be on our children. So, and that's what he just explained in Luke chapter 11. Like, so yeah, he will require the blood of, you know, on this generation, man. Because they wanted to persecute the prophets just like how they persecute Yahweh Shai. Because when they saw Peter, they were like, he's one of them. He's one of them.
Look what they did to Stephen.
Yeah, God.
When Stephen was correcting them and cutting them with the scriptures, they grinned at their teeth. Roughly paraphrasing.
Their teeth?
Yeah.
grit their teeth and they start to stone him, man.
And that's what they're going to do in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, man, when the Lord make it known who his true prophets is, man, and they're going to be gnashing with teeth, man. You know?
Quick injection. This is Malachi 3:18. Then should ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve Yahweh and him that serve him not.
That's happening right now.
And that's the sifting. That's the sifting process. It's between who serves Yahweh, and sincerity and truth, and who doesn't. Because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, man. The most high chosen people. All right. Father's name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh. We need to know these things. America's gonna be destroyed.
Point blank, period. Point blank, like the brother said. America ain't finna be around forever. So if that's what your prayer is, and that's what your hope is, well, you hoping and praying on the false thing.
Right.
Rude awakening.
Appreciate it. You see, he said, Daniel brought it out. They despise that which is good. All right. This is John 15:19 or 18. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
So because we are not of the world, because if we were of the world, we was up here break dancing, singing, playing music, doing magic tricks.
And Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
Christ.
All that.
See, IUIC and them, they're not separated from the world.
No,
They're not, because and guess what attaches them to that world? The 501c3 charter. So therefore, they put us under the FBI watch list, but they're not on that list because of their 501c3 charter. They still under the sanction of Christianity under the Nicene Creed.
And if I may add on real quick, just along with that, man. Hey, if the Lord was really dealing with y'all niggas about 200,000 deep, man. The Lord only looking for 144,000. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all not out of here, man? IUIC, Nate the Snake.
Hey, Nate, you gonna get judged, man. Period. Whatever. Anybody else might want you to repent or whatever. The Lord can do anything, but as far as it goes now, you out of here, man. You might as well go on revel in your sin, because Lord will judge you in that.
Like that little prayer he did.
With the monocornota.
Yeah, little prayer he did, man. What the scripture says, they pray out in the open.
To be seen of men.
To be seen of men. That's something that you should have prayed along and secretly to the Lord, not praying in front of the whole congregation to be seen.
I'm praying for my enemies. Who are your enemies?
Oh,
I guess your enemies are the true men of the Lord. You know.
That's something the scribes and Pharisees would have did.
Come.
And he even there one time mentioned the Lord's name. He kept saying the Most High.
Heavenly Father.
And then I think he said Christos.
This is a precept, man, back on the brother Nathaniel.
About the prayer real quick. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 5. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and in the corner of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, that they have their reward. That's why they got all the money now. That's why they selling out now, man.
Reward, man. The praise of man and women, and also money, filthy lucre. So they're getting their reward, man.
The precept he brought out in 2 Timothy 3:1, it said you should see in the last days perilous times shall come. And these false prophets not telling the people of that, man, of those times to come. But this is Jeremiah 14 and 13. Then said I, Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, behold, the prophet said unto them, ye shall not see sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you a sure peace in this place. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy to you a false vision and divination, a thing of naught, and a deceit of their heart. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that prophesy my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed.
And they say ain't nothing gonna happen.
Right. Let's see what he's talking about is not gonna happen. Now, real quick, and then go right back to that. This is the sword that he's talking about. When they say this sword is not gonna happen or hurt anybody. Revelations 14 and 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
And they're trying to drink of the same thing, because what are they trying to do? They're trying to set up communities in Babylon, trying to bring the people together carnally.
And they think the kingdom is going to be established here in America, IUIC, nation, which is America's going to be eradicated. That lake of fire.
Right, this ain't the damn promised land, man.
Promise for destruction.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. This is a land that was promised to destroy. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So that's the sword. Read that again. This is the sword that they're not warning people about.
Jeremiah 14:15.
Right.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, concerning the prophets that prophesy my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land.
See that?
By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed.
See, that's IUIC.
I got one more.
That's ISUPK. They say if somebody takes that chip, they're not going to get destroyed.
And the people, verse 16, and the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem was a people before it was a place, because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them.
And what did he say? He's going to make a great feast for the fowls in the air. So their bodies ain't going to be buried, man. The birds going to have a lovely day. The buzzards, they're going to think it's Golden Corral.
And that's mainly going to happen in Armageddon.
And if I may add on, what it said, they say sword and famine shall not be in this land, man. And that's what Nate the Snake said in an interview a couple years ago with Benjamin, man. We should not go through any great tribulation before entering into the kingdom. But scripture completely goes contrary to that, man. We're going to go through great tribulation. Jeremiah 30:7, all right? Daniel 12:1, Jacob's trouble, man. So what is that? Who is that for? If we're not Jacob, who's it going to be given to?
Yeah, it shows he's a hypocrite, man, because he contradicts himself. Because he mentioned that and said there's no Jacob's trouble, and we got on him on that. All right, but instead of his pride is in the way, man. Instead of correcting himself, he continues to dig himself a deeper ditch. Now, to his excuse of not using the name is saying, oh, when Jacob's trouble comes, all right, then we'll be on one consent, and then we'll be have the rightful names. So then now he's a believer of Jacob's trouble to make his point, you know. So he picks and chooses, and he adds on and takes away from the scriptures, man.
Private interpretation.
It ain't even go down like that. Oh, we gonna get the name when Jacob's trouble hit. Hey, no, the Lord gonna tell you to go cry. Most High Christ blesses y'all always do, man.
Hey, wait a minute. What did Yahweh Shai say though in John 17:6? He said, I have manifested thy name to the men that thou hast given me out of the earth. So Jacob's trouble hadn't happened then. So he had already made the name of the Father and the Son manifest to the elect.
Because the Lord ain't finna wait till Jacob's trouble. Like, okay, now I'm gonna give you the name, because you ain't gonna see the men out there teaching on the highways and the byways. You ain't finna see these videos on YouTube. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be chaos, death, bloodshed, and different things of the sort like that. You ain't finna be like, oh yeah, we got the name. Yeah, go on out there in the streets and watch you get your head tore off your shoulder. It's finna get real out here. And you false camps, y'all not telling nobody this, man. The Lord gonna judge y'all, man. Sooner or later, but you gonna get judged.
What happens though, if that's the case, with that folly that they speaking, all right, during Jacob's trouble, the name has to be established before them, because the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and those that run into it are saved. And not only that, in the midst of that, the famine of the word is going to be out. So who's going to teach them the name?
So how you gonna call on the name? And then again, in IUIC, how you gonna call on the name if you ain't even got the name? What you out here for?
Hey, like scripture say, when two or more are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Y'all niggas deep, man. So hey, the Lord ain't in with y'all, man.
So basically, they teaching call on the name of the devil until you get to Jacob's trouble.
Then call on the name of the Lord. The Lord gonna be like, my ears don't work.
This is Judges chapter 10, verse 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen, and let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Lord said, I ain't gonna deliver you no more. Go call on them other gods that you've been serving. Don't come call me when it's time for a foot to get broke off in your behind. Don't get scared now. You know, you had all this faith and this boldness calling on the wrong name and wouldn't take correction so that you could call on the right name. So when all hell break loose, continue to call on those wrong names. And all that faith and boldness you had going on.
He said, in that time, those that seek me early shall not find me. So you're not going to be able to find his name at that time. Only the righteous that were established by his name are going to be able to have that name until the end.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26. And I'm going to go all the way down to verse 28. It says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mark when your fear cometh.
All right, because your fear is supposed to be right now. You're supposed to be fearing what the prophets say, the true prophets say right now. But then you're going to have people that wait for the destruction to come to start fearing.
When your fear come as a desolation, and your destruction come as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you.
So to 2/3 of our people, the destruction comes as a whirlwind. The chariots are going to be destructive to 2/3 of our people, man. Then they weren't found worthy of the Yahweh Shemi Awashai.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer them. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
So when destruction comes, now he just said that Nate said that when destruction comes, when Jacob's trouble comes, then they're gonna declare the name, right? But according to the scriptures say at that point in time, you shall seek the name and you shall not find him, man.
But they that hate knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, they will none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof.
And what did Athanya Allah say? They despise the prophets, man. Don't they despise the prophets? So you despise the calling of the Lord because he's trying to give you, establish a foundation with you for you to stand on in that evil day.
Because what it says, the name of the Lord is a high tower.
Strong tower.
Like a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, man. So you have to know the name of the Lord, because it says what? Whosoever should call upon the name of the Lord should be saved, man. So for you to try to wait at the last minute, like our people always like to do, you know, they late to everything, and they want to wait to the last minute, then that's when they want to call upon the name of the Lord. The scripture says he clearly is not going to answer you. He's clearly going to laugh at you. Because y'all thought it was funny then to make mockery of his prophets and make mockery of his name, IUIC, Nate. All right, he's going to make mockery of you, and he's going to laugh through his true prophets.
Appreciate it. Fine. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, starting at verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your constellation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets.
So woe unto you that are rich, because you have received your consolation. You got yours. You good. Woe unto you that you know what I'm saying, that are full now, because in that end you're gonna be hungry.
Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you.
Okay. So woe unto you when all men speak well of you. You other camps, men speak very well of y'all. Believe it or not. Woe means destruction. You know it's always woe before everything. Woe means destruction and judgment.
For so did their fathers to the false prophets.
God, so just like the false prophets of old were blessed by their fathers, the same thing in this day and age. So all this, you know, the true men of the Lord are not liked. The people, we rub people the wrong way because we tell the truth. They don't want to hear it.
They get rebuked.
They get rebuked, almost want to fight.
Unjustly, too.
You know what I'm saying?
What Galatians 4 say? Am I therefore your enemy because I tell you the truth, man?
God.
And then you got Captain Tazariak. They always mentioning his name, Tazariak. Oh, he a good speaker. He a good this. And it's like, he a baby, man.
And he's getting exposed right now, too. Heavily getting exposed how much of a novice he really is.
Yep. Gone. Then you got the dudes in Scarlet, man. They uplift Nate the Snake more than they do acknowledge the Lord, man.
Yeah,
put respect on his name. Like, who is
hey, look here, we're just gonna go on record as saying is IUIC worship Nate. That's who they worship.
Come on.
That's who they worship. They don't even need to come in the name of Caesar Borgia. They need to come in the name of Nate. That's who they fuck. That's really who they fuck.
Because they get mad at the true men of the Lord giving double honors like the scripture says, right? We're supposed to give double honor to your elders, all right? But they don't want to, but they don't want to honor the Lord's name, so they get upset when you talk about their elder, you know.
You
But
know
they
how they-
elder,
Salaki.
you got it.
I was gonna add on how they feel about the law is how they should feel about the name, you know.
Con.
Law, the name. You feel me?
It's
Law
not
versus
just-
the name is gonna save you.
Truth. That's what they. But now, you know,
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight.
so
Con,
what?
man.
Okay, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
All right, Con. Like Nate the Snake, man. You know what I'm saying? That he's wise in his own eyes, man. You know, calling on that false name that he like to call on. That's evil. He said, woe, man. Like Brother Nakar was saying earlier, man, woe means destruction. Destruction unto you, man. You know what I'm saying? You call it evil good, and we trying to tell you that's evil that you're saying, man.
Hey, so going back to the statue that was put up in our temple, right? When they defiled that temple, it was a statue of Zeus, right?
With Antiochus IV.
Yeah.
The statue of Zeus. Now, what is the name that they call upon mean in Latin? Hail Zeus. That's the same name that put our people in bondage in the mind and that they desecrated our temple with that statue. And that's the name that they're coming in today, man.
Now, what does the name Jesus mean in the ancient times?
You can answer that.
Baal.
Baal.
It changed from Baal to Zeus. And then from Zeus to Jesus. So the same one is still boggling our people's minds. That damn idol named Baal.
And the elder always makes a great point that you could knock down all the statues you want to, all the physical statues you want to, but if it's still embedded in the mind of our people, they're still in bondage. And the name Yahweh Shai is what made us free, and he's trying to put our people back in bondage with the name, that thing.
Right. He said what? He said we should no longer call him Baali, but we should call him Ishi.
According to Hosea.
So instead, they still calling him Baali. And we calling him Ishi, husbandman. We know exactly who our husbandman is, Yahweh Shai.
We crying out Abba Father.
Abba Father, yeah. We know who the husbandman is by name. See that? Back then, they were trying to serve the Lord, but they were calling him Baal. They would get sacrifices, and they were sacrificing to Baal. You see that? They're doing sacrifices, spiritual sacrifices, but they're sacrificing it to Baal. Once again, the Lord said we're going to offer up spiritual sacrifice. So when they go out and teach, they saying Baal all day. Jesus, 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 Jesus.
All day long, and you can't know something. It's like you don't know somebody unless you know their name. You can't say or you can't claim credit of knowing somebody if you don't know them or able to call them by their name. Just throw that point out there.
This is the book of Jeremiah, laying back Kadasha came out, Jeremiah 14:14. This is Jeremiah 23 and 21. It says, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. Ran from who? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. It says, but if they had...
No, meaning when they ran, meaning they were out there teaching bullshit. Yeah, because he said, what did Habakkuk say? That he may run that readeth it. No, you good, bro. We brothers, man.
It says, but if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned from their evil way and from the evil of their doings.
They won't be adding sin to sin, man.
If the Lord sent them, if the Lord really called them and sent them, they would turn from their wickedness. They would turn from their iniquity. They wouldn't continue in it and lead people to continue in their iniquity. They would be like, no, that's wrong. You don't need to do that. You should stop this. But this is how you live according to the scripture. This is how you live according to the Most High. This is the way we're supposed to do it. You know. But these false teachers, they don't do that.
They don't take correction. You know. And this
oh yeah, you got it. I'm gonna skip down to verse 26. It says, how long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? It says, yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart. And what it says the heart is deceitful above all things. So they taking heed to their heart and not into the spirit.
Quick interjection.
Keep going. Verse 27. All right. It says which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams.
That's them. Gone. Nate the Snake. Goddamn Creflo Steal Dollar TD Jakes.
All of them.
They
Sorry,
hey, we out here trying to combat that vibration that was put out. Hey, since the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, and you got these those of the sheepfold, all right, or claiming to be of the sheepfold, all right, putting the wrong vibration out, all right, combating the true prophets, the true name of the Lord, man.
And we ain't forgot about you either, fake apostle Ricardo CC. We ain't mentioned your name in a while. We on your ass too.
Zabak.
Zabak, you too. Mr. Philosophy.
It's like, or the mark of the beast is spiritual.
But what the scripture says, there are evil men amongst Israel.
Found amongst Israel.
But I got a quick interjection. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 13. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of knowing of whom thou hast learned them. So they're going to be evil men and seducers that's going to wax worse and worse. And we've seen it through all these other reprobate camps, how they switch up their doctrine. Once you say a lie, you got to say another lie. And that's what they're constantly doing. Building on lies upon lies instead of coming to the truth. And they waxing worse and worse.
Precept for you. That's for you.
Come on.
This is Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
And that's what these reprobate accounts doing, man. All right, they are wicked men.
And what does it all say? Ye are of your father the devil, who has also laid snares and traps. Esau, man.
You're gonna preach it real quick. This part of the traps and snares right here. Micah 2:8. Even of late, my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men averse from war.
So the covering that the Lord puts on them to secure them, which is his word, man, they pull it right off. And what does it start with? It starts with his name, man. They pull it right off. So now they're no longer secure. They're walking around like they were in Genesis, naked, but they're shameful, man. They have no covering. They're going to be butt naked when the Lord shows up.
Bookie naked.
That's right, huh?
The last part, what it said,
It says, ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men averse from war.
Gone, man. Hey, so with that being said, hey, they're just completely being rebellious to the Lord, man. And we go into that word rebellion means to wage war, and the Lord is the man of war, man. So when he coming back to shed blood. Why? Because you're going toe to toe with him, man. So therefore, if you're in the way, like the brother brought out earlier, if you're not gathering with him, you against him, man. So shit, if you against him, you in the way, and he gonna get your ass out the way, man.
And what did they say about the person that was in the marriage feast without a wedding garment on? He got tossed up out of there, man, for not having on the proper attire. So that's why it says, woe unto them that go on to Egypt for help, that cover themselves with a covering, but not of my spirit, man.
It's Hosea chapter 6, verse 5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. You go to the word hew, it means to divide. It says, therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. Backing up the brother Arakaz. So their judgment is going to be made manifest in that day.
And what the word is cutting them right, through the mouth of the Lord, true prophet, because we're exposing them and marking them, all right, for the offenses and the things that they say out of their mouth. They don't understand that every idle word that they are saying, they're going to be held accountable for.
They can't. Point blank period. They think ain't nothing gonna happen.
They go back to them feeding themselves without fear, man. Like the brother brought out earlier, dog. They don't think nothing gonna happen, man.
Right. This is Acts 5:38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh.
And that's what they're doing. Then what did they do with Yahweh Shai? When they tried to come up with him according to the law, according to the doctrine, he was cutting them with the scriptures left and right. He didn't care who stood up. So what did they try to do? Same thing IUIC does. They try to insult his character. Or he ain't nothing but a wine bibber. He ain't nothing but a glutton. You know what I'm saying? When he would go fast in 40 days and 40 nights, and he come back hungry, and he was eating, and they were just trying to insult his character because they couldn't take anything away from the words that were speaking out of his mouth through the Father, man.
God, they couldn't take away from the foundation because the foundation of the Most High stands sure. You ain't finna take that. That's a rock solid foundation, and anybody that build on that foundation is rock solid. When you not building on that foundation, that's when the waves come, your house gonna be knocked over.
I got that right there. This is St. Matthew 7:24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
So when you hear the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and you take heed and you follow, the Most High is going to liken you unto a wise man that builds his house on a rock. Because if you build your house on sand, when hell come to it, guess what's going to happen? It's going to fall off.
It's going to come to nothing.
It's going to come to nothing. It's going to wash away.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Luke 10:16. He that heareth you, heareth me. And he that despiseth you, despiseth me. And he that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me.
So if you hear us, you hear the Most High.
Right. So if they fight against you, they basically fighting against the Lord.
They fighting against the Most High. You think you call yourself calling us out, rebuking us? Well, you really trying to call out Yahweh Shai and rebuke them. And that ain't gonna happen because they righteous. So you basically, your arms are too short to box with the Most High. And our people, like the brother, the boss said, our people like to do stuff late. Don't learn how to fight when you get hit in the face. It's too late.
Right.
Don't learn how to repent when you getting judged. When you in the middle of the judgment, it's too late. You're supposed to repent before the judgment. You're supposed to do right before the punishment comes. You don't do right at the punishment or in the punishment. You do it before it comes.
And what did King David say? He said he teaches my hand to war. All right, now he's teaching us how to war spiritually, man. All right, and he said that my arm could break at the bow. All right, who's shooting those arrows at us, man? Esau is, with all his imaginations and his wicked devices, his snares and traps that he has set up for us. But he gave us a mouth that neither our adversaries can gainsay nor resist, man. So that's why they try to insult our character. That's why, because they can't do nothing with the doctrine, because the foundation is of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So that's why they got to call us bums.
And even that is low, and that don't even bother the true men of the Lord. Like, okay, call us bums when it don't matter.
They said the same thing about Yahweh Shai.
Exactly.
Yeah, it bothers me.
He said in the midst of it, he would leave a poor and afflicted people.
That's right. Yep, he said gonna leave in the midst of poor and afflicted people.
Right, not no prideful ass people, man. You know, that don't want to get right. You know. That think they got it, you know, that think they gonna live it up here in Babylon, you know?
Because of their 401k or their credit and all that nonsense, man.
I'll keep that. Let me know.
Yeah, you can bring precept out there for that.
Yeah, brother.
This Second Thessalonians, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Ultimately, it's talking about Esau, but you know, 2/3 of our people follow after Esau.
Well, it's gonna fall in. It's gonna go into 2/3 of our people also.
For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And he was talking about the Roman Empire right there, man. So the mystery of iniquity he was talking about was Esau, man.
Even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness and them that perish, because thou hast received not the love of the truth, as that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion.
So they are of their father the devil. They cannot receive the love of the truth because they love lies, man, and hypocrisies. That's what they love. So they love the flesh. The flesh is what's going to make you subject to lies and vanity.
And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
And if a ruler will hearken to lies, all his servants be wicked, man. So Nate is in a strong delusion, and he believes in lies. He believes he can say the C word as calling upon the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. He believes that according to the law, you're gonna get salvation, even though he's not upholding the law 100%. All right, and he believes that. So the Lord chose his delusion, man. That filthy lucre is his delusion, so he will not be able to. It seared him with a hot iron, man. He won't be accepting of the truth.
Just quick parable. Luke 6:39. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into a ditch?
And that just shows you. That shows you what his job is, to lead the blind right into the ditch, man. But I mean, if it's Lord willing, you're gonna have members of that congregation that are gonna see him for what he is, as being a liar of his father, the devil, man.
And you'll be seeing that now, man, because he getting exposed on all levels, man.
Oh yeah,
you know, so if you ain't flee from him to this point, man, that shows that IUIC, they're stuck in that Christian mindset, man. It's a delusion, man. And he's being deceived, and those who follow him is being deceived, man.
And guess
what?
what?
Say a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
And then so the Lord's gonna increase our faith, the ones that believe in the truth, and increase their delusions, the ones that believe the lies, man.
Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
And that goes back to
and many there be which go in thereat.
And look, and the brother just said they got what, about 200,000 strong that we know of, right? So they entering in that wide gate, in that delusional, that lie that's being presented in front of their face, and they following that.
And who set it up?
Huh?
Nate set it up.
Right.
The leader set those schools up in each state, in each city. All right, trickle on down like a pyramid scheme, all the way to these other countries, man. You know, the apostles didn't do that. You know, brothers woke up. The true men of the Lord woke up through the Spirit, man.
What Precept Elder brought out. Wisdom is more moving than any emotion, man. We don't gotta get on here and ask for no booster club, for no jumbo jet and shit. Hey, this word is traveling through way of the internet, the unicorn, man.
That's right, man. Real quick. 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
And that just shows that they don't want to suffer like Yahweh Shai suffered. Because that straight gates is suffering, man, persecution. And they're not willing to go through that. So they that's why they trying to get in according to the law. Because they don't want to suffer like Yahweh Shai did. So they don't want to even believe in Yahweh Shai for real.
15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing,
meaning nice garments and pleasant and peaceful things,
and calling themselves Israelites.
Correct.
But inwardly they are ravening wolves. See, they come up to you saying they're Israelites, you know, saying they teach with a camp. You know, they got the whole the team outfit on, you know, uniform. Jake love uniform. Uniform, they respect you. They think it's an organization.
Some type of order.
Yeah. Yep. And order is really supposed to be through the Spirit. Even though we all got them different colored garments, our spirit is way more in order than they purple damn outfits.
Seeing eye to eye.
Right, man. Seeing eye to eye, man.
You know,
right.
And that's how they operate, man. They operate their whole congregation like how America operates with that whole democracy stuff. They come to you as saying you Israelites with a pleasant speech, but then they hit you with the law, try to shove it down your throat. And that's putting heavy burdens on the people, because if you got people that's in the world, in the streets, and they feel like the only way to turn back, it's through repenting. But what happens when you fall short? Because the scripture said, Ecclesiastes 7:20, there's not a just man on earth that doeth good and sinneth not. So if they don't understand that Yahweh Shai is the redeemer for the ones that sin, not the transgressors, it's a difference between being a sinner and living a sinful lifestyle. It's a big difference. So we needed a mediator to get back, because the law was not going to get us to Yahweh because of these chains of darkness that we in, man. Our spirit is in bondage under these bodies. But when we get those new bodies, we ain't got to worry about pissing the Most High off no more, because we ain't going to sin no more.
Right, and then we'll all have on the same color.
Same colors.
Being the same spirit, same physical. Because at that point, the Lord going to put the laws in our inward parts. He said we'll all be perfect. But right now, he said we're supposed to be perfect and in order in the spirit. You see that? But if you walk up to IUIC, one member gonna tell you the Lord's name, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shah. The next member gonna tell you Jesus.
Right.
The other member gonna tell you it might be the chip. The other one gonna say it's not the chip. The other one gonna say you can make money off of people. The other one gonna say they're not into that. The other one gonna say the Sabbath is according to the new moon. They're gonna say it's not. See, they're not in order.
Yeah, and that's
They're not in
inconsistent.
agreement. That's a better term. They're not in agreement with each other. You know what I mean? That's right, man. How can two walk together unless they be agreed? Go ahead, he was holding his for a minute.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 34. Verse 34. Therefore, if so be that you will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, you shall be kept alive, and after death you shall obtain mercy.
That's you fence stragglers. that's hanging around in IUIC. You want to leave, you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. Well, here go your exit papers right here. Yeah, ISUPK, man, read that one more time for him. This is your altar call.
14 to 34. Therefore, if so be that you will subdue, meaning control, put in subjection, your own understanding and reform your hearts, you shall be kept alive, and after death you shall obtain mercy.
And what is that? What is that? That's the spiritual circumcision, circumcising your heart, man. I gotta put something. I'm bringing it out.
Yep. The Lord saying, die to this world before He kill your ass. Go ahead.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 20 to 21. It said 22. It said, therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I do this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, the Lord power, when I shall sanctify in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of the countries, and I will bring you into your own land.
Right.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. So that's what makes us filthy. So he's trying to put these idols right back into the minds of our people. It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart of flesh, and it's like your stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. Meaning, that's when he's going to put the laws in our inward parts, man. And he's going to change us. So right now, he's washing us with the word, man, according to Zechariah chapter 13. All right, it says, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. So we're not going to make it according to the law right now because we still got these vile bodies on us. Right. All right? All right, that was it.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. Just to go back to the point where all these different diverse doctrines. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. Key point, the Lord is not an author of confusion, man. So all these diverse doctrines and saying the new moon is the full moon and et cetera, and so forth, that's confusion. The Lord is not the author of confusion. All right, it's very simple. Even a babe can get it. Even a babe can understand it, man.
That's why the scriptures say 2 men walk together unless they be agreed, like the elder brought out, man. Because you can't have one individual part of your camp or a part of your apostleship, so to speak, pertaining to IUIC, Bishop Nathaniel, and the tall one with the glasses, You can't have one individual, one of your bishops believing on the chip, all right, secretly on the apostles' page, all right, commenting and basically believing in Revelations 13 and 16 pertaining to the mark of the beast being the RFID chip, and then you teaching otherwise, man. You know, because that trickled down into your congregation where you have, in your congregation, you have believers of those who believe that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, and you got those who stand true to your teachings and teach that bullshit of it's not being so.
And what does that cause? Division. So there's not going to be division among the congregation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. There's not going to be any division. All right, he's making the division between the righteous and the wicked.
And the Lord's doing that, man. The Lord is putting that sift and that confusion in your church. All right, hey, from your teachings. All right, which gonna cause blood to be on your hands, man.
Quick interjection. This is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 11. Doth the fountain send forth at the same time, the same place, sweet water and bitter?
Right. Hey, so could you go all the way to 17? Because that's something less than
water. If water is tainted, it's all tainted. And that goes with the scripture.
If the fountain is tainted, the water is tainted.
The water is tainted.
Another cut.
You know?
So a fountain can't put forth sweet and bitter at the same time. It's either going to put forth sweet or bitter. It ain't going to put forth both.
All right, verse 12. Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let them shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
So back to the one. A fig tree can't produce olives. It's a fig tree. It produces figs. It's a fruit. Just like an olive tree can't produce. Oh, let me look at it.
Just like a liar cannot produce the truth. It is a liar. Bottom line. So he's not going to be able to produce the truth, man.
God, that's why the Lord, that's why it says in Proverbs, I think chapter 5, it say drink waters out of our own cisterns, man. You know, you can't be drinking from the, a cistern of salt, and you can't drink from a cistern of water. I mean, sweet, man. You know, that's why you can't, scripture say you can't eat from the table of the Lord and the table of devils, man.
And what is our own cistern? Meaning, Revelation chapter 22, man. That pure fountain. I'll get it real quick. Revelation 22:1, it says, and there shall be a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb. So that's our cistern we're supposed to drink from, man. Not these broken cisterns that cannot hold any water, that give you water of guile, that give you salt water for sweet.
They right here giving you tap water and sewer water, that soap, that poop water, you know, that sulfur water that smell like, they giving you that. They ain't giving you the spring water. They ain't giving you the good water. They want to give you this tainted stuff. They want to give you the stuff that got contaminants in it that makes you sick spiritually.
This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not,
IUIC,
but are the synagogue of Satan. And that's why I'm bringing that out, man, because this scripture is fitting, all right, pertaining to the false prophets, man. 2/3 of our people, man, pretending to be Israel, but not of Israel, man. Right. You know, because the scriptures say all Israel is not of Israel, man. Yeah. And going into the true context of this scripture, all right, it's out to the church of Ephesus, man. All right, to Israelites, all right, warning them of those who may be among them, man, who are not ruling well, man, in the word of doctrine, in the word, in the spirit of truth. Right?
And the word goes out to the Israel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. That Israel, not the Israel of the rest of the world, man. That like the Satan calling itself Israel of the C word.
Yeah. You know, and they're the synagogue of Satan, man. You know, we refer that to the true Jews today, all right, which is fitting to them as well because they claim to be us when they're not, all right. But when it comes to of our own people, all right, they worship in the synagogues themselves, man, because of what they're teaching, man, and how they go about the word, the scriptures, man. You know, they don't rightly divide the spirit of truth, all right.
Hey, and you know, the fake Jews, they read the Talmud, right? And the Talmud really speaks against Yahushua, calls it like, really talks derogatory about him, like how they talk about Jacob. That's how they talk about Yahushua in the Talmud, man. And if you think about it, IUIC is the same way. because they're tarnishing the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
They added on to that filth, man, that was created, man, back to the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, man, mainly the Catholicism, man, but really religion as a whole, man, to confuse the people on the earth, man, to think they have a place in the Lord's rest, man, when that's only for the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, and those are the speckled bird who may look like the other nations, but bear the spirit as such, man. You know.
I'm bringing this Jude chapter 1 verse 13 now because you know they bring forth filthiness. This is Jude chapter 1 verse 13. It says, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars to whom is reserved the blackness and darkness forever. And that's what they do. They're raging waves. They put out a bunch of bull crap. They put out a bunch of lies and deceit. You know, it's just like a sea, like an uneasy sea that's crashing, and you see the foam and all that stuff. That's exactly the same way that they do. They foam out their own shame. I mean, their mouth causes problems for them. Their mouth put them to shame. Honor and shame is in talk. And it says, wandering stars to whom is reserved blackness and darkness forever. They reserved for judgment. They're wandering stars. They just walk around aimlessly, talking all kind of bull crap, not bringing the scriptures out the right way.
And these are the words of our Lord Yahushua. This is John 15:1. I am the vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth, that it may bring forth more fruit.
And that's what John was talking about. The axe is laid to the root of the tree, and those that don't bring forth fruit for repentance, roughly paraphrasing, shall be hewn in the fire. All right, and that's what you're seeing happening. The Lord is destroying the doctrine of the wicked, man, exposing them, man. And what is that doing, though? He said the deceiver and the deceiver are his. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So they're going to continue, because it said the hearts of these people shall wax gross and gross and gross. So they're going to continue to teach the bullshit, right? To keep the ones that are of the bullshit, that are with the shits, how they say it, and with all the shits, they're going to be with the shits all the way to the end, bro.
Appreciate it. This is Ezekiel 13:14. So will I break down the wall that ye have dabbed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered. And if the foundation is being discovered, what they teach is being discovered. All right, the Lord is making a clear separation on who is men who are teaching the correct things, and who are his men who ain't teaching the correct things, man. The Lord can use you for good, and he can use you for evil, man. To throw those that he don't want to the wayside, and to save those who are his, man. So you have a side to pick, you know, a choice to make. Yep, because the Lord is discovering it, and he's going to also render the judgment.
Yep, he said what? The foundation's being discovered. Meaning what? That's today we call that being exposed. Saying what's going to expose IUIC? The prophecies. When they start pushing that chip, that's going to expose the false prophets, man. All the camp members going to say, "Oh shit, now we got to make a choice."
Shit, they gonna be sitting in class and half of them go have it already.
Turn zombie.
Goes back to Hosea 6:5, where he have healed them, meaning divided them by the prophets, because his words are they are not going to return to him void. They're faithful and true. You feel me? We've been set up to mark those that cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine. And these false prophets, so to speak, you know, they're not teaching the truth.
False teachers can't even call them prophets for real.
Yeah, that's why this is called a testimony.
God, I couldn't even get that.
That's why this is called a testimony until the judgment. When the Lord gives the judgment, he's going to say, yeah, life for them, death for these 2/3 of it. Go ahead, bro.
Because like the elder's saying, it's a testimony, and we are to teach, to prophesy against them, man. Right. You know, rebuke them, man. You know, ultimately rebuke meaning to correct them, all right, with the hopes of them to correct their ways, man. But pride won't let them do so. And this is Ezekiel 13:16. To wit, the prophets of Israel which prophesied concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, saith the Lord God. Likewise, thou son of man, set thy face against the daughters of thy people, which prophesied out of their own heart, and prophesy thou against them, and say, thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, woe to the women that sew pillows to all armholes, and make kerchiefs upon the head of every statue to hunt souls. Will ye hunt the souls of my people, and will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? You know, they can't save themselves, all right, but they'll teach you to preach the law, all right? So they're not for the betterment of the people, ultimately, all right, because they can't save themselves, man, so they can't save y'all, man, you know, because they're in the wrong mindset of thinking they can save themselves, man, you know?
And they're not the savior, Yahushua is.
Come.
And he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved.
Yeah, you don't get saved before the end and then walk around and saying you saved. You got to endure to the end. And you got to endure in the truth and the doctrine. You can't omit scriptures and omit stuff you don't like. You got to deal with the sweet and the bitter, the good and the bad.
They say give select, but that's why I say give double honors to the elders that rule well in doctrine, man. You know, you got to rule well. Even Nate, he came into this truth long ago, and that's why he's one of those faces to run up into. You would think to run up into. All right, but he hasn't ruled well in doctrine, man. He's went off according to the things that he's learned.
That's right. Quick injection. This is 1 Corinthians 9. Let me go straight to 25th. And every man that striveth for the mystery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
And that's basically what Nate and them doing it for, man. They doing it for a corruptible crown, man. They doing it because they want to be seen of men. You know, and us, we doing it because we want that crown from Yahushua and Mashiach.
I got a precept. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 31. But Israel, which follow after the law of righteousness, have not obtained to the law of righteousness. Wherefore? Because they sought it not by faith, but as it were by the works of the law. For they stumble at the stumbling block.
That's them.
As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone, a rock of offense, and whosoever believes on him shall not be ashamed. So they don't believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're trying to get righteousness and salvation through the works of the law, not through the works of faith, man. We are up to obtain the law to the best of our ability, but this system was set up for the flesh not to be able to endure. So whatever the law couldn't do, faith was established by Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
And what is that saying? Them trying to get in through keeping the law is showing that they don't, you know, like the brother's saying, they don't believe in Yahushua, man.
And Yahushua becomes a stumbling block for them.
They believe on themselves, and Yahushua becomes a stumbling block, man. Because at the end of the day, that's who you have to go to, you know, the mediator.
Matthew 3 and 7. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers. This was John talking to him.
Look at that forked tongue.
Yo, this was check this out. Who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come? So the Sadducees and Pharisees showed up to John. John like, yo, who the hell told y'all about the destruction that's coming? Why y'all here? All right. It says, bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance. All right. And IUIC and all those members, they must not be fruit meat for repentance. Because yeah, we repent through keeping of the law, but you really repent through Yahushua. And they don't have him. They don't have Yahushua. And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that Yahweh is able of these stones to raise up children unto him. All right, so just saying that you're an Israelite and no keeping the law, that's not going to get you delivered. All right, saying my foreparents go back to Abraham, that's it. And we keep the law, so we're going to be delivered. No, you got to be delivered through the way Yahweh set it up. That's through Yahushua. All right. So that's why the Lord raised up stones.
Precious stones. Precious
stones. That's 2 Peter. That's 1 Peter chapter 2. He raised up precious stones, and we're set up to what? We're set up to give what? Praise. It's over. It should be on the right side. The first verse on the right side. Yep. What is? Huh? Oh, charging. All right.
1 Peter chapter 2.
Yeah. To offer up praise, acceptable.
Well, this is thankful.
Yeah. Where is it at? First Peter. There you go, right here. Verse 20.
Verse 20.
Wanna bring it up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, bring it up.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 20. For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if you when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. For he even hereunto were ye called, because of Mashiach Yahushua also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Right.
Verse 4. Verse 4 to 5.
4 to 5.
This one doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. To whom coming as unto lively stones, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. And those are the precious stones that are cut off. Oh, sorry. Those are the precious stones, man. That the Lord said, that John the Baptist said that he could raise up, to worship him, man. Offering up spiritual sacrifices. So, and here's another thing. One of the reasons why they didn't want to believe in Yahweh Shai, because guess what? No longer people had to no longer come to the Pharisees and scribes for or the priesthood for sacrifice. We offer up spiritual sacrifices right now. So we go directly to Yahweh Shai to get to Yahweh.
Spiritual sacrifice.
Type C.
Let me show you real quick.
Type C.
Type C.
Sacrifice. Ultimately, building that spiritual tabernacle, man. You know?
Mine's in the car.
It look like a
Type C. Yeah, he got the same one.
right?
It's in the car.
Okay, yeah. You want to grab it? Whoever want to grab it. Let me see your phone. Oh, good. Keep going, brother.
Could you get that Titus con?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I said look at yours too.
Look.
All right, this is the book of Titus, chapter 1, verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers,
Type C.
specifically they of the circumcision.
So, and that's what they that's them all day.
So there are many vain talkers
and deceivers,
especially those of the circumcision, especially those who call themselves of Yahweh Shai. There are many vain talkers, meaning they speak a bunch of uselessness. They speak a bunch of things that are not meet for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. They speak lies, they speak deceit.
And they're just like the Pharisees and scribes that were of the physical circumcision. But Paul was trying to teach them about the spiritual circumcision.
Right. That's right.
Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake.
Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, meaning they bring the whole house under foolishness, under lies, unto deceit. And their mouths got to be stopped, meaning the Lord got to shut them up. They got to be quiet.
Because they're trying to pervert the house of Israel.
And they are blemishes in the face of Israel, meaning the face, the nation, the people.
Going down to verse 16, they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient unto every good work, reprobate.
So they profess that they know the Most High, but they deny him in works. They deny him in doctrine. They deny They deny the Lord in the miracles that he did. They deny him in his name. They won't call him by his name. They want to call him everything but Yahweh Shai. They want to call the Heavenly Father everything but Yahweh.
This is 1 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and to bring upon themselves swift destruction.
So just like in the days of old, there were false prophets that brought in damnable heresies. They're the same ones back in this day and age, still doing the exact same thing, bringing about damnable heresies, bringing upon themselves swift destruction, because they're bringing out lies and deceits and are not teaching the doctrine as is supposed to be taught.
Done. This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
So be not deceived, meaning don't think you're going to do something and get away with it. The Lord said, be not deceived. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if you reaping, if you sowing in sin, you're going to reap in destruction.
Verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
So he that soweth of the flesh, you're gonna reap. If you sow into the flesh, you're gonna reap judgment. You're gonna reap destruction, because the flesh and the spirit are contrary to one another. They put enmity in between you and the Most High. So if you sow into your flesh, you're gonna get destruction. But if you sow into your spirit, you're gonna reap life. You're gonna be able to escape the said perils that are gonna come to this place. And these things that are written in these scriptures, they are not hearsay. They are not what's the word I'm looking for? They are not rumors. These are very factual and true.
Right. Yeah. This is Philippians chapter 3, verse 3. For we are the circumcision which worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in the spirit, and rejoice in Yahushua, and have no confidence in the flesh.
So we are the circumcision which worship Yahushua in truth and sincerity. It did say in the scripture that the Lord was going to seek those who worship him, who's going to worship him in truth and sincerity.
In spirit and in truth.
Come.
They have confidence in the flesh.
Come. We have confidence in the spirit.
He said, yep. Circumcision is that of the what? Of the heart.
The heart, the mind, the arm. But you know,
so we coming in the spirit of John and the spirit of Yahushua.
Come.
They coming in the spirit of the Pharisees and Sadducees.
They coming in the spirit of getting jacked up by the Most High. That's what they coming in the spirit of. They coming in the spirit of getting judged.
This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 3. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns. Circumcise yourself to the Lord and take away the foreskin of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that one can't quench it, because of the evil of your doings. So he's like, spiritual circumcision, man. Circumcise the foreskin of your heart, man. That's what Paul was teaching.
They're going to burn them.
God.
He's going to burn them.
Break up your fallow ground, meaning get rid of being hard-headed. Because hard head make a destroyed behind. They say hard head make a soft behind when you ain't listening. And then eventually, like your parents, when you was little and you decide you want to be hard-headed, what happened? You got broken half.
Right, man.
This Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of him that diligently seek him. And Yahweh is the name of the Father, all right, who the world only calls God, all right, meaning he exists. All right, and ultimately to please the Lord, you got to know that he is, man. You know, you got to believe in him, all right? And that's ultimately these other ABCD camps, all right, particularly IUIC with them playing with the name of the Lord, all right? They don't have faith, all right? They lack faith because they don't believe in the works that the Lord has done through his son, man. They don't believe in the son, Yahushua, all right?
They don't believe in giving credit where credit is due. They don't believe in giving worship to where it's supposed to be given, where it's supposed to be given to. The scriptures say, kiss the son lest he be angry. There's no other name under heaven by which we must be saved, or any other name that we can receive salvation. Yahushua, that's the name. You ain't getting this name through no other name. You ain't finna get Jimmy, Jerome, Carl, Al, none of that.
Yeah. The way they uplift and put Bishop Nathaniel on the pedestal, you'll think they'll be walking around with his name on their foreheads, man.
It's amazing they're not teaching
on
in
the
his
forehead,
name.
because the elect are going to have the name of the Father on the forehead.
Come on. They supposed to be teaching in the name of Yahweh Yahushua. They around here teaching in the name of Nate and Johanna.
But the name of Yahweh Shai comes with persecution. That's the straits, man. And they don't want to go through the straits. They want to try to make it in the easy way. They want to try to creep in unaware.
How they cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of this society full and wholeheartedly. All right, and get into the kingdom, man. Yeah. You know, they say, hey, not use the world, don't abuse it, man. They want to abuse the ways of this society and try to think they go trick and play the Lord, man. It don't work like that.
Precept.
Yeah, this is 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Oh, how you trying with the scriptures? This is the measuring stick.
Because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Every spirit that confess that Yahweh Shai has come in the flesh is of Yahweh Shai. IUIC, Nate the Snake, they not doing that.
Well, they believe he came in the flesh. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
but they don't believe in his name.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to. And every spirit that confess not that Yahweh Shai is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it shall come, and even now already it is in the world.
But they believe he came in the flesh, but they don't believe, they're not solidified in the reason why he came in the flesh. He had the flesh before his flesh was a curse, and he kept the laws 100% because we couldn't. And he was crucified for our sake, to be able to repent and come back to the Father. And they won't acknowledge that.
Exactly. They won't acknowledge it at all, but they're going to acknowledge their wrongdoings when the time comes.
This backing up the name of the Most High. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. Who have ascended up into heaven or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist? Who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have established all the ends of the earth? What is his name and what is his son's name? If thou canst tell.
So who have ascended? Who outside of Yahweh Shai have ascended up to the heavens and came back down again? Who done these things?
Not Neil Armstrong.
Not not no man, no mortal man that walked this earth have done that. Gather the wind in their fist, you know. And these false prophets, these prophet liars, they can't tell you what the name is because they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, finna start giving them new names like Nathanites. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they believe in Nate. You know what I'm saying? You know, Gahanaites, because that's who they with. You know, they not believing in Yahweh Shai. They don't want to respect the doctrine. They don't want to respect the one who gave us the ability to do this work. They don't want to respect the ones who created us, who chose us to be their portion. But our people are hard-headed people.
They're not out there defending the gospel, you know, defending Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but they fighting over who block it is, Johanna block or Nate block.
Or they ready to fight for somebody calling their elder Nathaniel.
Or they want to sit there and fight over Esau concrete that he put down so that they can stand on.
I got precept. This is Matthew 5 and 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
They're not being merciful. Just that's showing that when they would try to they stepped up to the IUIC members, ISUPK members, and told them to get off their block.
Well, vice versa, both of them. Both of them. ISUPK, they ran up on some GMS brothers.
Get
off my corner. So they both playing that game.
That tough guy shit.
They both playing that gentrification game and shit.
Yeah, and that's Sakari, they fighting. You know?
Yeah, they out there beating people up and shit, yeah. And I got the guns on the table.
Yeah, pulling guns out on Edomites at camp.
Hey, you want to die? You want to die tonight? Like, come on, man. That ain't the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Right. And it's it. Go ahead.
That's a carnal nigga.
That's a carnal nigga. It says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
So blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High.
See, they're gonna get delivered. The pure ones, the one that's teaching the pure truth, they're gonna see Yahweh Shai. They're gonna get delivered, man. They're gonna see Yahweh. All right, so they're gonna be standing up on the firmament, and they're gonna see Yahweh. All right. It says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh. See, the peacemakers are the ones that are sincerely coming out here teaching the truth, causing peace between the elect and Yahushua, and Yahushua being the mediator, causing peace between the Father and the elect. See that they're not causing peace. They're not going up in the gaps for the people. It says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of Yahweh."
And they don't want to seek that. They don't want that persecution. So therefore, they don't want to deal with the name of Yahushua.
That's right. Check this out. So that would make the peacemakers the city of peace.
Good.
They would be Jerusalem now today. We were the hopeful elect, the sincere ones would represent Jerusalem, the city of peace. All right. Ephesians 2:18. For through him, through who? Yahushua, we both have access by one spirit unto Yahweh. See, the mediator, making peace, right? Now therefore, ye are no longer strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens, becoming a citizen of this city. All right? With the saints of the household of Yahweh, the house of God. That's New Jerusalem coming down from heaven. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto a holy temple of the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of Yahweh through the Spirit, right? So that would make us the holy temple, the city, or Jerusalem. Well, check this out. This is Zechariah, what's that? 14. Here, go 1 second. 14 and 12. There you go, Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. So who's Jerusalem today? The ones teaching the truth. And IUIC represent the idiots that's fighting against it. It says what? This is going to be the plague the Lord is going to expose your foundation with. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. 1,000 members standing upon their feet. All you're going to see is boots sizzling.
Someone will have fringes on.
You're going to have fringes on.
No, fringy shirts.
Yeah, you're going Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And remember, he said their mouths must be stopped, right? This is how they're going to be stopped. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Because the tongue is what you speak with. You can't speak without your tongue.
Right.
And your tongue is one of those soft tissue organs that's going to consume away first by those missiles. That's
right.
That fervent heat.
That's right, because our job is not to shut them up. Our job is to what? Expose them, testify against them. And Yahushua is going to do the shutting of their damn mouth. All right? Because they came against us, the city of peace. We represent the city of peace, bringing peace between the children of Israel and Yahweh. True peace. All right? Through Yahushua.
Fleshly organs go burn up before the bones.
Right. That shows you that they're going to be the ones that get the chip. See that? They have no defense against it, man.
They're going to get the chip so they can get fired there.
Teaching false things, but adding on to the false things that were being taught, and for taking the chip. This is eye for eye. That's all.
You can tell them that they is, because look what he making their congregation get, man. He making them get that thing.
They making them all go get slapped. You know what I'm saying?
This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
They didn't continue in the things he learned, man. It's a video of him teaching the names on YouTube, man. This is one of the oldest videos you probably can find. When it comes to the elders and the apostles, those who come out of the One West, all right, of teaching the names, breaking it down wholeheartedly, sincerely, you know, with passion.
Somebody had exposed a video of him out there with a microphone in a trench coat teaching the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Hey, but he had a bucket then taking change.
Yeah.
I was around for that.
This says, again, it says continue in the things which thou hast learned. We're supposed to continue in the doctrine. We learned this from the days of old, and make sure that we remember of whom we learned this from. But when you don't want to go right, you're not going to do this. That was it.
Real quick, you said he had a bucket?
Yeah, he had a bucket. People was walking by. It was like off the shore of the beach. It used to be with a big speaker with the cord on it.
Stand on the expressway.
Check this out.
Nobody wants to be bothered with it.
So look at this. He probably wasn't getting that much money off the name Yahweh Shai. But when he started calling out JC, that's when the money started flowing in. Because the Lord took that name away from him because of the reason why he was doing it.
Yep. He went from a bucket to a bucket. Yeah, like Ariah. Ariah was praying for money. Yep. Ariah, they call Ariah praying for money. He said, Shakal or something like that, send some money to me. And he got it. He went over there to who? Comfy enough. Yeah. He got that money.
You got him on that picture.
You got Zabak and them praying to angels. Zabak, they got videos of Zabak praying to the angel Michael. Cool. Scripture say you're not supposed to do that.
With the angel told John on the out of the Bible, he said, "Don't bow down to me. I am thy fellow brethren."
Right, man. That's right. He said, "Yep."
And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
So as that from a child, that we have known these scriptures from the days of old, from an infancy of Yasharallah. From a child, we knew these scriptures. And these scriptures is able to make us wise unto salvation through the faith which is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Not through the faith of JC, not through the faith of Allah, Farad, Muhammad, Ganesh, whatever them say, through the faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. That's the only way. You ain't going no other way until you in at the straight gate. The Lord say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. You ain't getting nowhere. You ain't getting past me, around me, through me, over me, under me. You got to come through. You got to go through Yahweh Shai. Period. You ain't getting around it.
All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
So all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh. The Spirit got to come from the Lord in order for you to get this understanding. All is given from the Most High. All scripture by inspiration. And this is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, and instruction in righteousness. So this is the guide. The Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. If you're not using this instruction book, or you're not reading this the right way, or you just skimming through it, you're going to miss something.
Right, and even more than that, the Spirit got to be dealing with you.
Because
all these people, most of these people got the Bible. But the Spirit got to be dealing with you. That's what he's talking about. That inspired spirit that'll lead you back to the message that Yahweh Shai came to give. That's the doctrine. That's the way. That's the right way to the kingdom.
That would make it profitable.
That's what makes it profitable.
That's what make it to be able to be called doctrine.
That's right, man. They gotta be of the same spirit, the spirit of truth, man.
Really, if you around here slipping and sliding and omitting scriptures and misinterpreting words and things, you gonna look like a fool. Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 24, verse 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. So basically, that wisdom is the Holy Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shai that came out of the mouth of Yahweh and to the Lamb, and from the Lamb to the elect, man. He said he will make doctrine shine as the morning sun, man. That's why I said we won't need the sun and the moon for light no more, man.
Right, and the way the sun peers over the horizon and then it just dawns. That's what he's saying. His doctrine is going to start small and it's going to dawn and take over everything. Yep.
Just what Paul said, he labored for all those that want wisdom.
God.
This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is his treasure." So the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures should be the stability of our time, man. Because the men that you see laboring, not laboring for themselves, they laboring for other like spirits to that want to make wisdom their crown. You know, because what the scripture says, it says, "Let no man take thy crown," man. All those that want this crown upon their head.
Like Jake seek a companion, a woman, all right, to be with. You want to seek Sophia, man. That's a precious woman, man.
Yep,
you know, the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord.
Yep, that's your comfort.
I got one more precept. Yep. This is basically what the boss saying. This is Leadeth chapter 33 and verse 17. "Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning." And that's what we out here to do today, man. You know, laboring for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, the elect, man. You know, being fishers of men.
Because once the elect seal, all hell go break loose. So we want the elect to be sealed. These other camps don't want. It's please the end ultimately, man.
These little folks.
That's why they got a continuing doctrine. They teach things, but it's like when you look at what they teaching, there's no end all. There's no end. There's no end to it. Okay, we go build communities. How to be a better man in this society. You know, how to be a better husband to your woman and shit like that. You know.
Yeah, they take long ass routes to get to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the only videos I yawn when I'm watching them.
This Matthew 24 and verse 14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So just like the brothers bringing out how the Lord's truth, all right, that grain of mustard seed, and now is evident. It's out here. So you don't got no excuse, man.
Right. Or this is wisdom make a man's countenance to shine, and that's how you know if a man have light to dwell within them, because they'll be studying the law and the testimony of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, man.
Appreciate it. All right. To go along with the boss we're speaking on, this is our Proverbs chapter 24, verse 20. It says, "For there shall be no reward to the evil man." It says, "The candle of the wicked shall be put out." So that there go again. The wicked don't have no light in them, you know.
Unwise virgins, 10 virgins, man. 5 were wise and 5 were unwise, man. 5 were foolish.
And their light is darkness, so that darkness is going to be put out by the what? The true light, the truth.
Blank head.
So their eyes are going to be closed. It said the eyes are the light of the body. So if your eye be signal, it's full of light. But if your eye be dark, it's full of wickedness, man. So they're just full of wickedness, and that wickedness is slowly being. Their light is slowly being darkened through the truth, man, through the brightness of the coming. Well, it's going to be ceased with the brightness of the coming of Yahushua when he shows up. Because that's going to be an ultimate judgment. That's when the verdict is going to be read when he shows up. So when now both sides are giving testimony, the sides of the wicked and the sides of the righteous. So Yahushua is the ultimate judge. Judgment is given unto him. So now, what is it called? Deliberation and sentencing is going to be happening when he parts open in the sky.
Right, he's already shining. He said he can cause his doctrine to shine as the morning.
Okay.
His doctrine is shining forth. That's why he said he's going to destroy him with what? The spirit of his mouth.
The spirit of his mouth.
And the brightness of his coming.
Right here, I got it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy it with the brightness of his coming."
All right, so that wicked will reveal. Now he was talking about the Roman, talking about Esau at the time. But check this out: who's coming is after working of Satan. So by their working is the same thing. Because what did Yahushua say? You are of your father the devil. So they're under that same vibration that the wicked is under.
Yep. He says his work's gonna be burned up.
Come. Everybody's work shall be tested by fire, man.
That's right. Right, he's gonna destroy him with the brightness of his coming, man. The fire.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 and I start at verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. They go repenting and groaning then, like the brother had mentioned earlier, man. They gonna be grunting and trying to repent and calling on upon the Lord then, all right, because they gonna know that they was in the they was on the wrong side of history. Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh? But Hashem Yahushai and his lot is among the saints. You know, they gonna know that they err from the way of truth, man. They gonna know that that the fringes and walking around with fringes and with their whole family having fringes on, walking around and marching, all right, behind masons at parades. The Lord see all that, man. You ain't slick, all right, and you go find out that you erred from the way of truth, man. You couldn't be a part of this world and this society, be masons and have wayward doctrines and be a part of what the Lord got going on in this program.
That's a double-minded man.
Con.
This is Psalm 64:7. But Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
It says an arrow.
Yeah, he shoot them with an arrow, Con.
Because ultimately, those arrows that the Lord is going to shoot them with is those missiles, man. All right, which is the previous scripture that the elder had got with Zechariah 14:12. All right, and the Lord is going to preserve, like it says in 2 Timothy, the Lord know how to deliver the godly out of temptation, but deserve the unjust unto judgment. All right, so the Lord is going to allow these reprobate silver to be destroyed by those missiles. All right, which is those missiles are for his enemies, man.
They aluminum, they just gonna melt. The tongue shall fall upon themselves, man. Nobody ain't gonna want to deal with you. They gonna want to be far away from you. Then you're not gonna have that big following and congregation, and when they see that you are not a man of the Lord, man. You know, they go gainsay against you at that point, man. You gonna become a fugitive, man, a vagabond. All right, they gonna look at to you of the reason of why the Lord go judge them. All right, because you made them go and take that thing. You made them go and take that chip.
Scriptures say they so wisely consider of his doing.
You told Harpo to put his hands on me. Well,
All right, this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
The Lord says, until he come back. This is a straight charge, a straight commandment, a straight order. He says, till I come, give attendance to reading. Study to show yourself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. To exhortation, to doctrine. Meaning, once you do read and pay attention to the scriptures, you exhort, you build your people up, you teach them, you let them know. And you stick to the doctrine.
Just a precept going on with reading. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand.
Right, precept.
Go on.
1 Corinthians 1:21. For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh. It pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Quick injection.
So you got it.
No, go ahead.
No.
Speak on the preaching, man.
So by the foolishness of preaching, all right, because that pleased the Lord by preaching, by exalting his name and the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, to also what, to save us, man. That show our works and our faith.
Just read that one.
This is a quick injection. This is 3 John 1:11. Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that does good is of Yahweh, but he that does evil hath not seen Yahweh.
So follow that which is good and not that which is of evil. For those who follow Yahweh Shai, or while Yahweh Shai, they're gonna follow good. But those, and it says, do not follow those that are of evil things. Don't follow these false teachers. Don't follow these prophet liars. Don't follow these guys who don't tell you what you're supposed to know according to the scripture. Did you have anybody else? Okay, we'll go back to this.
Yeah, go back to where you was at.
All right. This is back at the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 13 again. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
The Lord says, until he come back, you give attendance to reading, exhortation, and to doctrine, meaning you stay the course. You do what he tell you to do, the way he tell you to do it.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophesying with the laying on of the hands of the presbyteries.
So don't neglect the gift of prophecy within you that was given by prophecy.
Precept. Where y'all at?
Verse 14.
I mean, what chapter?
1 Timothy chapter 4.
Okay. Sirach 39 and 1. But he that gives his mind to the law of the Most High, remember he said, stand and reading, right? And is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy.
So when you give your mind over to the law, i.e., your heart over to the law, you're gonna do according to the scriptures. You're gonna study. You're gonna read. You're gonna let these scriptures bless your eyes, grace your eyes, so that you can increase in knowledge and understanding, and thus forth, causing you to have a better walk with Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Doing what he tell you to do the way he tell you to do it. Going according to the doctrine. It's not hard, but when you understand the scriptures and understand how the Lord set things up, for people who don't go according to the scriptures, yes, this is a very hard thing to do.
Right.
And you shall be occupied in prophecy, man.
God.
So therefore you're going to prophesy, warn the people.
Right.
Say before.
And reading. You know, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, because the time is at hand. Isaiah 28 and 12. To whom he said, this is the rest, wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest. And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. So reading, studying, being occupied in prophecies, that's what the Lord told us to do until he shows up.
God.
And this is going to be our rest until he shows up.
God. It's going to keep us on the straight and narrow. You know,
like it says in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
God. Hear the conclusion. Wait for everything to be put in place before you jump to a conclusion. Meaning hear out the whole matter before you even answer or try and answer. Make sure you get all the information. Make sure you get everything you need before you go running out or go calling yourself preaching or teaching in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and you ain't even got the whole picture yet. You ain't even wrote down what you need to write down.
Right. Again, the reason he's reading this because this is what the Lord told us we were supposed to be doing until he shows up.
God.
Being occupied in prophecies, studying the prophecies, speaking the prophecies, reading, praying, you know.
God.
And check this out, because he said this is our rest until he shows up. All right, not getting millions of dollars, you ain't gonna be able to rest with that. You know, where moth and rust and thieves do corrupt. You're gonna lose it with taxes. You gotta pay mortgages all on it. You get $100 million, they're gonna pay 50% tax on that. All right. 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. See, we know this. That's Revelations 13. You know, those that kill with the sword shall be killed with the sword. All right. So we know this, and this is what we're waiting for. And this is our faith, and this is our patience. And to you who are troubled. So if you're troubled, right? He said, rest with us. When the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. All right? So that's what Paul and them was saying. They're saying rest with them in the spirit until the Lord shows up. And he's telling you how to do it. All right? How to rest. Go ahead, brother.
Like, come on to me. We got labor in our heavy Latin.
Heavy laden. That's right. That's right.
With heavy laden.
That's right, man. And heavy laden meaning what? With the perils and the persecution of these heathens, with our own sins, being laden with your own sins.
They not laden.
That's right.
You know, they want to continue on in this madness and in this place, which shows they not heavy laden. It's not this place is not a burden to them, to their spirit. Right. They don't vex them.
Quick injection.
Come on, yeah, don't bother. Go ahead.
This is Jude 1 and 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, thou yet once knew this, how the Lord Yahweh, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not.
That believe not. That go back to the wilderness. You know?
The wilderness. We in the wilderness right now.
And he said he will put us back in remembrance, though we once knew this. So we once knew this before. For a time, the Lord took this from us for disobedient, for being hard-headed, for not doing what he said to do. But he gave it back. That's why we're out here. That's why we're out here. Because he's put this wisdom, this knowledge back into his people so that we could go forth and to teach and to preach in truth and in sincerity.
All right, this is back at 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 15.
Make sure to help them out too.
Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
So you meditate, meaning you think upon the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shai. You give yourself wholly unto them, meaning you get yourself immersed in these things, you know, that they may profit, or that the profiting may appear unto all, meaning letting our light shine and everybody else see us. So when family members or friends ask you and you speak, when you go to speaking, they'll quickly find out, oh, okay, this is serious, because you know a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I done ran across, you know, brief, you know, not to get off topic, I done ran across a lot of people that I knew before the truth. I only been in it 2-3 years, but when I talk to them, to them it sounds like I done been in this forever, but I haven't. But I always say it's the Most High, he gives the increase.
All right, precept, please. Come. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Come, study to show yourself approved, to show yourself confirmed and affirmed in Yahweh Shai, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, meaning not being ashamed to do the work of Yahweh Shai. No matter what people say or how they look at you, you rightly divide the word of truth, and you do what you're supposed to do, according to the Most High.
Precept. Matthew 5 and 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
So don't take that candle and put it under a bushel. I mean, don't put nothing over that light, because if you take a bushel and you put a candle, it's gonna burn it up. That'll cause
it'll block the light.
It'll block the light. It'll dim the light, and
that's what a bushel was made for. It was called a bushel basket. It was made to dim the light.
It would be like equivalent of a lampshade now.
Yeah,
right, like a wicker shade. Yeah.
Yep. And you don't dim that light so people can see that light, so that they can reveal the Father which is in heaven.
Right. He said your good works. That was the point with our precepts.
Your good works, and seeing your walk, seeing how the Most High has changed you, because we are very much different individuals than we was before we came to this truth.
Right, and also the good works is what? Rightly dividing the word of truth.
Come. When it say needeth not to be ashamed, because anybody that's wrongfully dividing the words of truth, they should be ashamed because if they wrongfully divided. If you ever said something stupid and in front of your parents, they like, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for saying something like that.
Yep. And if nobody around to shame them, if they won't be ashamed according to the doctrine or getting rebuked, then the Lord gonna shame them in that day. When the destruction hits.
I got one more verse. I'm gonna just read. This is back at 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. It says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So you take heed to yourself, meaning make sure you doing right, so that other people will see your work. And then you also make sure you take heed unto the doctrine. You got to stay according to the truth. You got to stay preaching and teaching the way the Lord says, teach and preach. And then you continue in this. You don't stop. You continue in it. You know, don't take your hands completely off the plow and then just go back into the world and just be in the world and not. You continue in it, because this has a recompense of reward. You keep with it, in the end, you're gonna win. You know? And in doing this, if you continue in the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shah, you're gonna save yourself and those that hear you, those that believe, and those that are watching the videos and being taught as well, that are listening to the words of Yahweh Shah.
This is Luke 9:62. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh.
So no man having put his hand to the plow and look back, meaning you start this work and then you turn around and walk away from Yahweh Shai to go back into the world for, oh, I got to get this money. The main thing, that's all Jake really worried about, is money, cars, and women and clothes.
Right.
And they take their hands off the plow for something temporal.
Or they claim to be teaching that they're Israelites, and then they go down to Egypt for help.
Yeah, come.
They still in the world. Yeah. They getting a 501c3 charter, getting the other joint. You know?
That's what their confidence and faith is in.
Yeah. Huh?
I said that's what their confidence and faith is in.
Yeah, their numbers, their confidence is in their numbers, how many members they got. Their confidence is in their money, and their women, and in their garments.
God. Their confidence is in everything carnal rather than spiritual. Yep. So when you take your hands off the plow to go back to serve in the world,
yeah. Us, we ain't got no confidence in money. We ain't got no confidence in our women. No, I'm just playing. Look, everybody, get everybody in trouble.
What the Lord will do to you, though. He'll make you have confidence in those things if you're a man of the Lord. He puts you through those furnace of affliction, man. He puts you through that affliction, that straight.
Right, man. Character development. So you won't want nothing from the world, man. You know, you're going to only focus on the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, stay kingdom minded, you know?
For real, you know. They were like, hey, boy, you got to get you some money and invest. Man, look, this crap finna blow up anytime soon. This place finna go down quicker than the $5 hole. You really think, I'm finna put my confidence and faith in a place that I know it's finna go down? That's just like getting on the airplane that you know gonna crash, but you still gonna get on the hoping it fly you to your destination. No, I'm good. Cause that mug gonna crash, and I'm gonna watch everybody get on that airplane, and when it get up and hit the ground, I'm like, I knew it was gonna go down. Go ahead.
That's what harlots do, right?
8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
So what profit is it if you're gonna gain the whole world and lose your soul? You're gonna get all this money, you're gonna get all these possessions, you're gonna get all these cars, all these women, all these clothes, all these shoes, and then you lose yourself in the end. Like, what profit is that? What trade-off is that?
Like little nasty eggs.
Yeah. And I was gonna add on and say it ain't even a lot, man. You thinking like, damn, these jakes should be selling out for something profit, like something. It ain't even. It's nothing, man. It's literally a consolation prize, as the brother brought out in Luke 6 and 40, I believe.
Right. They set it out for $100,000.
Right.
Not even. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the Lord told us, don't envy the wicked. Why? Because this is their kingdom, right? But the Lord said, ye are gods.
God.
So in our kingdom, we're gonna be gods. So why the hell? So anybody that want to take part in Esau's kingdom, we just mortal men. That's why the Lord said it can't compare to what's coming. We can't even imagine. You know. So imagine being a god and you want to take part in this shit. You know what I mean?
And they choose filthy riches over salvation. They said, what profit a man he gained the whole world and lose his soul? Yeah. They rather gain the whole world than to gain the kingdom.
They got funny money, unbalanced money, you know. Fiat currency, fake money, it's called floating money.
Yeah.
If it say $50 on it, on the paper, it's really worth like $10 or $5. If it say $1 on it, it's only worth 6 cents. You know, look at they got yachts and shit.
Yeah.
And all these different cars. The yachts, we're gonna have chariots.
And that's crazy because people don't understand like what inflation is. It's because the value of the dollar is so much, so it takes more dollars to be equivalent to the gap.
They gotta print more dollars.
Right.
That's right.
So which depreciates the value of the dollar. Right.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get the dollar to circulate through demand, but they're making the demand seem false by printing more money. So it makes it seem like it's circulating a lot more, but no, they're just printing more money, which depreciates the value of the dollar. And these other people that don't understand that, they don't understand that the more money they get, the more debt they collecting.
So with that being said, this bitch, well, America, this whore is already dead, and they just trying to make it seem like it's still going, man. By pushing out them stimulus checks month out of month, now they talking about $300, this, that, and the third for each child per month. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's how you know this place is going, man.
And the printing of money, the quantitative easing is like when somebody flatlines, right? And they get the little thing, they're like, clear, yeah, and they hit the joke and try to bring it back to life. That's what they're doing. That's why they stimulate. What that does, it stimulates the heart and makes it and gives it, you know what I'm saying, gives another pulse, electric shock. That's what they're trying to do to the economy.
And they can holler clear all they want. It's over with. They can clear all day. They can keep zapping and hitting and trying to stimulate. This place is over with.
Look at the women. It just had the Gaddacks, the Native Americans, right? Look at that. That time period just passed, and you know they had the whole tribal way of living. You know, man would have multiple wives. Look at Esau's setup. You know, man can only have one wife. You know, it creates room for women to be jealous. And then we got to deal with that. Or you have adultery or sodomy. You know, look at this shit, man. You know, look at the fresh air. We can't even take a deep breath of fresh air.
You take a deep breath, you might fall out.
Right, man. The foods, you know, GMO foods. Look at the jobs. We got to work day in and day out. And you're not making nothing. You know.
And if you got a job, you ain't making nothing, but your woman make more than you. That brings strife.
That you have that happen.
Yeah.
Our women ain't even.
Yeah, that was
The wicked is
Hey, I almost went down that rabbit hole with y'all too.
This is Isaiah chapter 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Right, and that's what's going to happen when you have a dollar crash or economy crash. That's how you know that's going to happen right here, right now, right before the kingdom.
IUIC don't believe in that either.
They don't believe in that. Yeah. You see that? But they doing marriages and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
they having concert Passovers.
Concert.
Not to say that his opinion matter, but yeah, vocab saying that Nate will separate your whole family. He'll separate one man's wife and give him to another.
Whoa, I heard about that. I heard about that. I heard about that too. You ain't lying.
Hey, because they taught women that if they men didn't believe in the truth, that they to leave them.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were saying that. Yeah.
The Lord said, what it said, let no man
the unbelieving wife for the son is saved for the faithful.
Yeah.
God has put together, let no man put
asunder what the Lord put together.
Right, and meddle not another man's affairs, and a man with his woman is as a ship to the sea. So like the ship is on the sea, it goes where he wants.
And I think 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it says, wife depart not from her husband. So for these women that are in the truth, you don't supposed to, if you know better and you listen to a false prophet and you read the scripture and it says not for you to depart, you should not do that.
Because you don't even know, like these women of the Lord, like Deborah was an influence to the men that didn't know the law. She told them to go down to the place of drawing water and hewing wood to hear the women singing the songs of the law, to let them know. So you never know what influence that a woman of the truth can have on a man that's not in the truth. Like Deborah, so that's what's like.
No, I was going to say, but Deborah wouldn't be under 144,000.
No.
That's
what side nigga and them pushing right now. Yeah. He was trying to push that last night, and Cesariak kind of agreed with it. He asked him. He said, "So what do you think about that?" He was like, "Well, you know, They know you know nothing, man.
No.
They said 144,000 men. And 1/3 of the men, he's like, yeah, well, that's going to be the government. No, he said that's going to be the elect. But then you're going to have the government, and that can have the women. Just like you have lawyers and women in certain levels.
Man, that's totally backwards.
Yeah.
He had his oils with him on the show too.
Yeah, he was promoting them last night. Ain't no women's lib in the kingdom. Ain't gonna be no women's liberation.
Ain't gonna be no feminism in the kingdom.
Only liberation you getting is in the house. Anyway, what position you want?
See, he said they should ask worse and worse.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get off of that. So you got what? You got what? Their entertainment. You know, look at their entertainment, man. Look at the music. You know, look at the music that they push through to our people, the entertainment industries. You know what I mean? And then you got the foods, the GMOs. Look at the lands. Anywhere we go, you see an Edomite there. And they got the shit named after them. You go out to the beach, you see nothing but them.
And the entertainment world is a prime example because it's like a whole bunch of characters, man.
That's right,
that Esau ultimately create. But he create these characters, but they become a dime a dozen, so to speak, man.
Right.
You destroy them quick. So they get that little constellation of being on the pedestal for a little while, and then Esau destroy them in front of the whole congregation, so to speak, man. For the whole world. Make them, make them drug addicts. Oh, he child abuse, you know, with Michael Jackson and so on and so forth, man. They go and start ridiculing you.
And the industry, and the music, and the entertainment industry, period, point blank, got the minds of our people so messed up, man. I was watching a King Von video, right? And he was basically giving a testimony when he was 14, how he went through the court system, right? And he was listening to all the different detectives that were, you know what I'm saying, how they put the drugs in the community, and they arrest Jake for selling the drugs and stuff, selling drugs and guns. And he was talking about how they were saying, oh, that's my work, that's my work, that's my work. All the young kids that they were locking up in prison, they had the detectives talking about, oh, that's my work, that's my work. These are my works right here.
Proud of the trap.
Proud of the entrapment, man.
I got precept. This is King Vaughn, right? And who y'all say that nasty dude? Nasty Nas. Nas X. This is Second Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places. All right, because this is the place of confusion, and through America, all the nations have been drunken of the philosophies of America, the wine of our fornication, and the confusion all over the world. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall oft be sent out again. So the Lord gonna be sending judgments every day, because of nothing but wickedness and confusion on the earth. And the wild beasts shall change their places. That's happening. And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
That's exactly what they do, because all these little hard-headed ASS children running around here, they ain't nothing but little monsters. That's all they is. They don't respect authority. They don't respect their mamas. They don't know who their daddies is.
Right, but mainly monsters dealing spiritually. Like they become perverted. They become strange. And they become monsters. That's why I say, man, you want to find the monsters, they not in the academy. They right out here in America.
Right, and go to the hoods, man. These young niggas don't have any respect for life, man. They quick to try to kill their brothers, man. They quick to try to, you know what I'm saying? That's all they talk about. You know what I'm saying? I spot the op, bop, bop. That's all they want to say.
They monsters. They got the tattoos from head to toe. Shit, eyeballs all over them and shit.
Yeah, man.
Vultures
And
tatted on
that
their
represents
forehead.
the
vultures.
Yeah, they got vultures tatted on their forehead.
That represents the inside. That's their mindset with all that shit on the outside.
Yeah, they feed on dead stuff. They feed on dead things.
Like it was a time that it was like, okay, hip hop, whatever. They didn't represent or make their logos and stuff with scrolls. You know, it's like they got scrolls on their clothing, designs on their CDs and stuff like that. Teaching, they rapping in graveyards.
Because that's what the Zaquan's saying. They became a product of their environment. They know they have to do those things and show those things to get into that society, to get in and play the game, to get paid.
That's right.
You know, so they sell themselves for naught, man. That's what scriptures say. You know,
that's like DMX. He had the skull on his back when he met them brothers, man. Yep. That show their mindset.
And that shows that what? It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because if they just listen or attain this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, they'll understand that there are kings, princesses, prince.
What you said? You said they been hanging out in graveyards. The little gangs and shit and pouring it out. You know, the Bloods and the Crips and shit. Isaiah 65:4. No, let's do 3. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens, that's their barbecues, and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves, and lodge in the mountains, which eat swine's flesh, they eat pork, and broth of abominable things in their vessels. What's the broth of abominable things? The pig feet, hog maws.
That sounds like a crab pot to me.
That crab pot.
Yeah, fish. Well, they have fish fry, but they have other shit there.
Yeah, crab boil.
They call it a fish fry. That shit ain't no fish.
Fry no fish.
That's right. See that? Yeah, not a fish fry, but a crab boil.
They rap about, oh, we eating crab legs and lobster.
Yep.
Like that, and steak, like that's a luxury dinner.
Yeah, right, man.
Shit, they frying fish, it's catfish.
Yeah, and they remain among the graves, you know?
So that's what it says. The man that went out of the way of understanding should remain in the congregation of the dead, man.
Yeah,
so
that's twofold.
2/3 of our people, they are remaining in the congregation of the dead. That they promote it in their music, they promote it in television, they promote it in the movies. You know?
They promote death.
Like even in the middle schools, you know what I'm saying? Like they put the Zesty flag on the schools now. Telling you
what they put it on the White House.
It's
remember that?
The libraries, yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
When Obama was in office. Yeah, they painted the whole White House.
They flashed the lights on it.
Yeah, they flashed the light on it.
They flashed like the rainbow flag lights on it.
Yeah, that was it right there. Once they did that, they had all the rights, man. We couldn't come out here and say certain words no more.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Marshall Ba'ala got locked up in Dallas. They locked him up.
They flashed the light on the White House. They would just remind. They flashed the light. You said they flashed the little zesty light on the White House. They were just letting us know the scriptures when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua told Noah that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to represent the promise. Yeah. That's why they was doing it, to let us know it was going to be destroyed. That's all.
Yeah.
Not by water.
Not by water, fire this time. That's all.
Oh, I got to have a quick precept back.
Hell with it, man.
What they was talking about, man, with these fools out here.
Oh, go ahead and bring that up. Feeding on death, right?
Yeah, man, with the rap grain industry. It says, this Proverbs 15:4. The heart of him that have understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness.
Right.
And that's primarily what a lot of these people are doing out here, man. Y'all feeding on foolishness. Y'all not seeking the true wisdom, the true knowledge, you know, of what is considered the real riches, man. You know, y'all falling after the dead shit, man, bullshit. You know, shit that's not profitable, man. This is what's profitable for you.
Like you got Jeezy and Future talking about they sold dope to their aunties and selling dope out of their grandma's house and stuff like that, man. You know, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? That y'all, the older generation teaching the younger generation, the youth, to follow after that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but the scripture says, who should rise up against evildoers? You know, who's going to stand up and rise up against evildoers? Because 2/3 of our people, they are brute beasts. That's what they promote. That's what they want. I got a quick interjection. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 4. Right? It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So the music is brought low. The music that is being promoted now is a low vibration, man. You know, because back then in the 60s and 70s and 50s, it was blues, it was jazz, it was soul music. Now it's nothing but deafening music.
It's a low frequency. It's like 440. Real full frequency is supposed to be like 700 or something. You know what I'm saying? But see, when you listen to that low frequency music like that over time, it literally dumbs you down to the point to where you can be controlled by the mind.
Key Glock and what's his name? Whatever his cousin's name is, Young Dolph. They literally had an album came out, Dumb and Dumber. Then you got one Dumb and Dumber too. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother said, man, it's a lower vibration. Man.
And these Edomites, them Khazars that's over the music industry, they know this stuff. That's why they promote it, and that's why when you hear it, it kind of it cringe me. I don't like none of this new music. Period. But that's what it is. So that's why they promote the music like they do.
I was gonna say they promote it also to have our minds, 2/3 of our people's minds conformed, you know, and blinded by what's really going on in the world today. You know?
Controlling the mind. It's literally control. It's literal mind control.
Was that a boule?
Boule.
Con. And especially with the industry today, what they always talk about, man. They always talk about BS, cars, drugs, dope, women. All right, and then you had these
and don't forget killing the ops.
You gotta throw what they got going on today in Jacksonville. I mean, going around in Jacksonville, that whole song with that
Young and Ace.
Yeah, Fulio and Young and Ace. You know what I'm saying? You got DJ Academics. You got all these big interviewers. They got them interviewing all that, listening to the song. All right.
DJ. Matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, my daughter had a track meet. They canceled the track meet because at the pep rally, somebody played that Who I Smoke. And they shot up. Middle schoolers shot up Reigns, bro.
Exactly, man. That just causing, especially in Jacksonville, because that's where they all clipped up at. You know what I'm saying? And that's feeding into the minds of our people, man. Got them saying who they smoking and stuff like that.
Creating a hornet's nest. Esau likes to create a hornet's nest, order out of chaos. Ultimately, the RICO Act you niggas and throw you all in jail and to kill half of you niggas, man.
They just had it what? Operation Early Checkout, where they arrested like 30 individuals. They're looking for 30 more. Right? So it's like Esau setting them up. They can't even see the setup.
You talking about the RICO?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going RICO.
When you bound it and you in that system, you got a less more say so than out here in society, man, on the turf, so to speak. You know, when you get in that system, hey, if Esau want to be able to stick something in you, he gonna be able to do it, man. Where you go run at? You know, you gotta press a button for that door to open or for your cell to be unlocked.
Right. Let me bring this out, precept. 1 Peter 1:15. But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation, because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy.
So holy being separate, man. You know, you want to be separate from the ways of this society, ways of this world. You know what I'm saying?
2 Peter 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Talk about what bag you finna get or what bag you chasing. Chasing after this filthy lucre. All right, building, buying a Lambo that's gonna burn up or ain't gonna be able to run if you get the wrong oil change. You know.
What scripture say? Watching for riches consumeth the flesh, man. So so what manner of person ought you to be in the all holy conversation of godliness? All right, that way you be fixated on the kingdom, man. Fixated on the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, because like the elder brought out earlier, man, storing up your heavenly riches, because down here, moth and rust is going to corrupt it, man. Where the thief can break in and steal.
That's right. Wings. Yep. One more verse. Verse 12, looking for, right? Keep your mind on the Lord. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And with that being said, when that happens, the elect bodies are going to be changed. So what manner of conversation shall you be in? Because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Holy Bible.
But they're going to get started if they don't listen.
I got to preach something quick. This is Philippians chapter 3, verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, Yahweh Shai. All right? So that's how our holy conversation, our conversation is in heaven, man. It proceeded out of the mouth of the Father into the Lamb, and it comes down unto his elect. And what he said, how be it we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. All right, not the wisdom of this world, not the philosophies of this world, but the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's our holy conversation.
That's right. You know, everything they're talking about is going to be burned up. Money, clothes, and hoes. and drugs, man, and all the material shit that they made. It's all gonna be burned up, man.
What Trayvon say? I got the money and the cars and the clothes, the hoes. All that's not gonna be a none effect, man.
No, what's the guy named Drake?
Gone.
He said this is this life or something.
Yeah. Life is good.
Life
is good.
Yeah, this life is so
there you
good.
go.
Why would I look for heaven? It was something like that.
Gone.
That was a song from way back then.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, man.
He got the owl on his albums and stuff.
Right. So this is their heaven. Go ahead,
When
bro.
I die, bury me inside the Gucci store, nothing but carnality, man.
I don't know that. I never even heard that one.
One for my birthday is a big good hole.
No, go ahead. Let the brother bring a piece about that.
God. All right, this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be his soldier. And I just wanted to bring that out, man, because we are engaged in spiritual warfare, man. But 2/3 of our people cannot see that to the point where they entangle with the things of this life and the things of this world, man. But the Most High have chosen that hopeful elect to be soldiers, man, and to fight for this truth and to ultimately fight for the kingdom, man. And that's what our minds should be focused on, not the things of this world and of this life, man.
Jacob be mad at the nigga around the corner because he did something to him, but they ain't mad at the heathen because the heathen rocking them to sleep, man. And the heathen want to do something to you, but he trying to rock you to sleep first before he do it to you. Right. You know. So now it's time to wake up and get mad, man, and realize what the damn heathen and what the Lord is. He's finna send judgment, man. You know.
Because that's how people act. They act like Samuel Jackson off of Django. And how Samuel Jackson was, his anger and his ways, how he was towards Django, that's how 2/3 of our people look at they brother today. Which is that go back to the curses, you know? Thy eyes should look evil towards thy brother, man. So the music constantly keep that vibration on looking evil towards their own brother.
Precept. This is Isaiah 51, and I'll start at verse 19. These two things are come unto thee, who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword.
Yep.
By whom shall I comfort thee?
Khan, so who should comfort you? It says desolation, destruction, and famine, and sword. And like it says in 2nd Ezra, those that escape from the famine, the sword should take them, man. And who should comfort thee? All right, because the elect, they're going to be comforted because the Lord blessed them with a sound mind to be comforted with the word.
And just like the brother's saying, the elect, their mind is going to be meditating on the things written. And this verse 20, thy sons have fainted, they lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. And that's what our people, hey, that's what you 2/3 you niggas do today, man. We call you niggas, all right, because you still in that spirit, all right, being out there on the street corners, all right, you got from old to young, man. You got Jake Young not going to school, robbing, stealing, all right, just mine is just corrupt, all right, just going after the things and the ways of this world, man, starting with what? The music. You know, the witchcraft that they put in that music, you know, because that's ultimately what it resorts to, the witchcraft.
Because because certain it's a documentary on how they do the little star thing with the Satanist thing
on the floor and light candles and shit.
Like what that rapper named Ace
shit, DMX who just died, he did that on the movie Belly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. They put their music and they put that little devil thing and they play it backwards. The kind of experience to put on the music.
All right, precept. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. All right, and that devil means what? Deceiver. And that's what they are set up for, to deceive our people. You see Rick Ross, he'll get on the screen, hustling, right? I'm way back in the day. But he'll get up there and they'll live this good life on the screen, when they know damn well our people are not living like that. Right. And they literally set up to put this whole facade on screen and get our people to chase that same feeling, that same dream.
As soon as they slip up and try to tell our people the truth, Esau come after them and try to kill their ass like they did Rick Ross himself.
That's right.
He had a mixtape called the Black Bar Mitzvah, All right, which wasn't right. He had the Star of Remphan on there.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, but he had his head on basically on the Star of David, basically telling and saying, "Oh, shout out to all my black Hebrews," and things like that. You know, showing that he know the truth and giving, throwing out a subliminal message. Next thing you know, no more albums, no more mixtapes, no more music from him. You hearing him losing weight, having heart attacks, having strokes, being damn near hospitalized, and damn near losing his life.
Yep, go ahead, brother.
And just as an interjection, going on these celebrities, and most of them, a lot of them, they know the truth too, because even Beyonce, she had put out a special not too long ago. There's like a visual special, and in the film, it was a depiction of the Lord Yahweh, and he was a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair and a white woolly beard, man. But they'll still push everything contrary to this word, man, because that's what they set up to do.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 and 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Yep. The ones that don't want to hear it, they're the ones lost.
Verse 4. And whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Right, so the Lord, the God of this world, the devil has blinded these people.
It says, continue on. Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. So they gotta hear this truth to know what's going on, man.
God. And just to point out a thing, when the brother Gabar was talking about what the Lord looked like, as soon as he said he was a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair, he pull off, quick. Because you know he don't believe. Now, if he would have been saying he was something else, or anything else like a blonde hair, blue-eyed Edomite, he would have been all for it. But since we say he's a dark-skinned man, white woolly hair over there, I gotta go. I don't know. They talk crazy now.
You stuck on what the Lord looked like when the Bible clearly says it, then that's your damn problem.
Yeah. Right. Yahweh Shai don't want to know him.
Well, that's why he couldn't stay.
Right, man. If you don't know the Lord, it's because Yahweh Shai don't want you to know. The reason we know is because he wants us to know.
Yeah.
This ain't no, I chose the Lord. You can't pull that church mess.
It's like a beautiful woman, like if I take a liking to that woman, I would want her to know me. I'm gonna introduce myself to her. If it's something that I don't like and I despise and it's not to my liking, I'm the hell with her, man.
What you gonna do? Give her a fake number?
That's
a fake name.
Fake name.
Hey.
This is Proverbs 17 and 4. A wicked doer give heed to false lips, and the liar give ear to a naughty tongue. And that's just a straight cut, man, of those that's not really dealing with the truth, man. Those that's dealing with these lies that's being pushed, man, the deceit that's being pushed upon our people.
Right, that's the blind leaders of the blind. And that's birds of a feather flock together.
So can two men walk together, except they be agreed?
They agree.
You can't walk together. A wicked woman is given to a portion of a wicked man. That woman being the wisdom. So fear it. You got a wicked wisdom, man.
Yeah,
they got the true wisdom.
They got a Jezebel.
Yeah, they got a Jezebel spirit.
This woman right here.
And Jezebel eat my dogs.
Jezebel was wicked as hell too. That's why she died like that.
You're right. They got the spirit of Esau.
God.
The spirit of the harlot. Babylon.
I got
all the philosophies. Go ahead, brother.
This is Hosea chapter 7, verse 16. They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt. So all these rappers, all these athletes who love giving all their energy to Esau, to the devil, all of them are going to fall either by the sword, or they're going to run to safety and get bitten by a serpent, or they're going to catch a missile.
What it say, like a bow of deceit?
Gun,
man. They just like a what is called the graphite bow and arrow, man. Every time you bend it back, it breaks every single time. Those little air bubbles in that graphite, it just breaks, man. So therefore, that strength that y'all have, every time y'all commit wickedness, you get weaker and weaker, man. Like the brother, well, y'all get stronger and stronger, but weaker and weaker as the righteous get righteous and righteous, man. Where the balance.
They return, but not to the Most High.
Right. So that's like IUIC. They return, but not to the Most High. So they're the ones that shooting that deceitful bow out here to our people, man, causing our people to be confused, man.
They were building the Tower of Babel. They was trying to shoot up at the Most High. You know, in that same spirit, you know, Esau trying to rebuild the desolate places, trying to keep this place alive, and they trying to help and aid and abet this damn devil.
Yeah, they giving this place mouth to mouth.
Right.
You know, and I shoot the kid. They don't want America to fall. They say it, but honestly, they do not want America to fall. They want to keep getting money. They want to keep having their kingdom here. That's why they go out on the highways and byways and wear such elaborate garments, because they want to look. They want to have the kingdom now. That's pretty much it. Point blank period. They want to have the kingdom now. They don't want to see this place destroyed.
Scripture said they have received their reward.
Right. God.
That consolation. God. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed, and they that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. And this pertaining to the elect, you know.
God. The fear of the Lord. That it brings you back to the beginning of the lesson. The brother brought out how they feed themselves. They eating without fear, man. You know, that's the first thing. The fear of the Lord, man. You know, they take the doctrine and run with it. You know, and teach wayward things that need not to be taught. You know, instead of taking the doctrine and just meditating on it and building themselves up to help build the people. All right, they took it and ran with it and made haste to go fill their pockets up with the word of the Lord. So the Lord got a return for that, man, a vengeance for that, man. You know, you might be tax exempt from Esau, but you have to pay taxes to the Lord, man.
Yeah.
You ain't tax exempt from the Most High.
Tax that ass too.
Yeah, he gonna tax you royally.
And what tax go into, man? Tribute. You know, so you don't have to pay tribute to Esau because you're in partnership with Esau. All right. But you gonna have to render that tax up to the Lord, man, because you made the Lord house out of merchandise, man. You know.
I got a precept. All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 8. It says, "Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity."
Right. You know, all the things that they build up, this big old congregation. All right, the Lord is dealing with quality, man, not quantity. You know, so you got a big mass group of people following you, but that's not gonna get you up out of this place, man. That's not gonna get you up out of this hellhole, man. They all can donate you $1 million each, and you're not gonna be able to get up out of here, man.
Yeah, while they donate $1 million, the Lord gonna donate a missile. Donate an ass.
You think of IUIC, they get the jakes that come out of the world that got a little money, you know, may have been in the NFL and, you know, got a little money. You know, that's why they was able to have a dude in their congregation called Pockets.
Yeah. But they go to places like IUIC because they can still live that same lifestyle.
Like the Christian church.
Right.
Right.
So if you come to like a Lions Den or a GMS or something like that, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have to totally convert your lifestyle, man.
You have to become that new creature.
Right. They're not willing. They if it was left up to them, they would bring that same nigga that it was in the world into the kingdom, and the Lord don't want that.
Just imagine how much tithes that dude get. You know.
Yeah, man. Hey, IUIC might be ready to get a bunker.
They probably already got him.
Doomsday bunker.
That's why he started the Booster Club. He gonna fly over there, make him a bunker, come on back.
They got a bunker in Africa. A bunker in Africa.
Bunker in Africa.
Yeah.
Then he gonna be all in his bunker doing videos. Oh yes.
You know they're not gonna let him have one of yours.
He gonna do the GLCC record. Yes, salvation is here. Yes, we're safe.
Yeah. I remember that, man. Y'all gotta watch out for GOCC. A lot of y'all new people don't know about that. When this dude, GOCC, what's his name? Ricard. He did a video in the past, and he said he was delivered already. He did a video and said, "Yo, I'm somewhere safe. Just letting y'all know. We're on the chariot, and we're safe." And he said, "If you want to come over here, you got to send money. You got to send money, and you got to pay to get over there."
No, he took the money first. That's how he got over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was it.
Yeah, he took the money. He that's how he got over there. and told everybody that he's safe, and they defend him for that.
But
man.
then it was some people that paid to go over there off of his strength, and they got stranded over there. They got stuck over there. He left them there. And this dude, they found this dude riding around in New York with a damn Maserati. Wow.
And his congregation still defend him on that.
Rakar from GOCC. Yep, that's them.
What you say about the bunkers?
That's the same one.
Yeah, he might have a goddamn bunker.
I got a
Yeah, mermaids. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cause you know how it is. The rich, the elites, the rich, the Masons, they want to fit in with Esau.
Yeah.
So whatever Esau doing, just like in that movie, when they was all getting bunkers, and you had to,
Elysium.
It might be you had to have a certain amount of money to have a bunker made.
Ring and shit up in the space.
No.
That's why they told them to wear lighting. Masons to have lighting on their car or when they like clothing when they wear stuff. Usually they wear a cross or they wear a compass and square with a G in the middle or they have it on their car because they believe that or they told that when shit hit the fan, type of situation happen, that they'll be able to have like some type of asylum, like be able to go into some type of bunker.
Look at Eminem.
Yeah.
What he said, he like as we move toward a new world order, a normal life is boring. He said, make me king. That dude said, make him king. He don't want to be normal no more. He want to be a damn android.
Well, this Revelations 6:14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island will move out of their place. This talking about when World War III breaks out and ICBM missiles get shot over here.
Mushroom cloud, that's right.
It says, verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? So that bunker y'all hiding in is not gonna save y'all ass, man.
It's not. It is so late. You're getting snatched up out of them bunkers and getting thrown into captivity.
Everything's gonna move out of their place. Like
there's gonna be some furniture moving.
Ain't gonna be 2 men in the truck. 2 men in the truck gonna be that messy movie.
They can hide in the holes of the rocks, on the top of the mountains, or they can go up to the damn space station. The Lord is still gonna bring you down with the angels and the elect.
When they say, though they dig down to hell, I shall bring them out.
Yeah, that shit gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be fun for people that have been turned into gods. We're gonna be able to hunt them down, man.
Like predators.
Right. That's what we want.
There's a video on YouTube. This guy, I forget his name, he an Edomite. What he does is he goes around the country, he buys abandoned missile silos and he turns them into completely livable bunkers. Yeah. And he sells them to rich people. Yep. And the interviewer, he was like, "Do you like want, for people to use them?" He's like, "No, I don't want people to use them." But a lot of his customers say that they only buy them for a good peace of mind.
Yeah, they actually live in there too. They live in there.
Yeah, they got a beach, they got pools and shit like that. And he said, he showed the security room. He said, yes, it's always manned by 2 people, and you could do a lot of damage from this room. To us, it'll be like playing a video game. So that's the war that they want to have. They want to have a button pushing war from behind closed doors and from in comfort.
Yeah, I would go stay there. I'll be prophesying out there the whole time. They be like, "Oh, get him out of here, man."
See this shit right here ain't gonna save you.
We be down there, so y'all really think this shit gonna suffice, huh?
All right, let's get it, man. You wanna wrap it up?
Yeah. One more, the next one.
All right, at the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his, and let everyone that nameth the name of Yahweh Shah depart from iniquity.
So nevertheless, meaning it don't matter what you think, what you say, how you feel, the foundation of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah standeth sure. It's rock solid. You can't destroy it. And it says, having the seal, the Lord Yahweh knoweth them that are his. Having the seal, what's the seal? The name, the doctrine. Leaf. That's the seal.
Right.
And the Lord knows those that are his. He knows the ones that truly worship him and truly believe in him. He knows the ones that truly go according to the doctrine.
Right, you got to have this seal to be in the 144,000 and the 130.
God,
That's
and this
Revelation
is
7.
God, and it says, and let every one that nameth the name of the Lord, of Mashiach, Yahushua, depart from iniquity. So if you naming the names of Yahweh, Yahushua, you supposed to be departing from iniquity. You ain't supposed to be willingly doing things, doing immoral acts or being in transgression, doing it on purpose.
Breaking down the doctrine wrong.
Exactly. You ain't supposed to be purposely lying.
Depart from those camps that you're being warned about. You got brothers out here warning you, proving it to you day after day. And you got to depart from that at some point. Don't wait till the last second till you see the chip getting pushed all around the world, and then now you want to try to, oh, y'all was right. Well, that might be too late. You never know.
Exactly.
The Lord might not defend you in that day.
As I made a statement earlier, don't get punched in the face. Don't wait to get punched in the face, then try to learn how to fight. You getting hit, you getting jabbed. You ain't got ain't that you can do.
Right, you gotta be careful talking about punching the face around Esau. You know, they think everything's violent and shit.
Well, because they violent people naturally.
Yeah, man.
But it's like this. Don't jump off a building and find out you can't fly. You should already know I cannot fly, so I'm not going to jump off this building.
You know, how about just run into the building and be safe?
Exactly.
Right. Yep, bring it to a close, though.
But that was the lesson. Hopefully you will edify those out there who are watching the videos.
Camera right here. This is what we be talking about. See that? Just standing at a different distance, smiling, grinning. Don't care what we're talking about.
Exactly. But
scoffing
secretly in their mind and in their spirit. But that was the lesson. Hopefully, Yahweh Ratazah was edifying for those who watch it. And we would like to give praise to the Most High, the Son, and their Father in their true names. Call, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma. And again, double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, double honors to my elder of this campus as well. Salutations to the sincere occupant. With that, Shalom.
Shalom.
DTE as well.
Hey, hydration?
Water.
I'll take my
hydration. You gonna put the water up.
Spiritual hydration?